Hello everybody, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Sunday, welcome back to your weekend. I was just restarting my WoW client here because oh there we go. I had like a pop-up from my Windows desktop that refused to minimize, but we're all good. Hello, thank you, sorry I'm a little bit late. I did get up early to take Moose on a play date, and we did do that, and it was very fun. I would be lying if that was why I was late, though. I left with plenty of time. The reason I'm late is because we got Tim Hortons for breakfast, and I normally get one bagel, but they sent me 2 bagels, and I thought I had to eat it because that's free calories, and it takes me longer to eat 2 bagels than I thought it would. Sounds like a wonderful start to your Sunday. Moose is out there in the front, flat on the ground like a pancake. Snoozing in the sunny spot from the window. He's like, he rolled around in the dew in the grass a lot, so he was like pretty wet, and I toweled him down as best as I could, but he is sun drying right now. What kind of bagel? I get the jalapeno Asiago bagels from them. They're a little spicy. It's like a pepper cheese bagel. They're good. 2 is normally something that I would do after like a lot of physical activity, which I did not do this morning. But it sounds so good. Yeah, not bad. So that's why I'm late. Thanks for understanding. I'll do better next time. I am back on my warlock. I'm getting right into it today because I've got levels to do, and I wanna get them done. Yeah, thank you for the 26-month resub. Good morning, Hazel. Appreciate you as always. Good morning. Hope you're having a lovely day. Cream cheese or butter person? Butter person for sure. Cream cheese on like a sweet bagel, but I will pick a savory bagel with butter, or equivalent 9 times out of 10. Have my bagel sandwich right now. Rosemary salt bagel. Nice. Hi Hazel. Hi Chad. Hello. Max level today? I don't know about that. I think it will probably take me longer than one stream to get from 71 to 80, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to have fun and do things that seem enjoyable and see how far we can get. I'm doing campaign, and then maybe delves later, but I wanted to do some campaign before I get into delves because I found when I did my first delve yesterday that at my present item level of not very much, it's a real struggle because I still have heirlooms on. I have like very old leveling gear, and one of the ways that I decided that I might want to... Oh, you know what actually I could do? Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't do it. I'll do it off stream. What do they want me to ask? Profession trainers? This is like the tour quest. And then, the Titans will return. They want me to go prismatic codex used. Yeah. Can I do it right here? Yeah, I can. I'm level negative 100. I was in the middle of a train of thought and I lost it. It was something to do with leveling and getting gear. It was just slow doing the delve before. So, this is a reasonable way to do it. Oh, the thought that I had that interrupted my other thought was I realized that it's Sunday and I have not yet done this back half of the week's Goblin Zone world quests, like Undermine world quests. And I really want to level today, so I don't know if I'm going to do them on stream today, because if I start doing that, you know I'm going to be down there for ages. Because they would have refreshed on Friday afternoon and I didn't get to them yet. So I should do that at some point today, but I don't have to do it on stream. We can motor through this on stream. I'm still partnered with Steamweedle, who I am exalted with, but I can't just welch out of it because I'm gonna need things from the Paragon caches as well. So I still need reputation. Kezo3, thank you for the 67-month resub. Happy Sunday! Happy Sunday! Having one of my favorite local cheeses with lunch. Found it on sale this week. Nice. Chive onion, garlic, good though. I'm a big fan of an everything bagel too. Everything and sesame bagels. They'll like, especially when you toast them, because then all the seeds are toasted, and then the toasted seeds will fall off in the plate. And then I take a clean finger and then I go wah, 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 to pick up the seeds on the tip of my finger, and then I nibble them like a squirrel. They're delicious. Can't leave that stuff behind. That's good stuff. So we're gonna talk to Bran. I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. One second.
To uphold.
Oh. I know it's gonna be bad news, but it's just pictures of Moose from the front room. We're all good. We're okie dokie. Everything bagel spice. I put that on so many things now. You know, I've heard of it, but I've never purchased it. I've never had it at my disposal. I feel like I would get it thinking that it was going to be a really good idea for me, and then I would fail to actually put it on anything because I have no imagination. Speaking of cheese, made a grilled cheese for lunch with sourdough, Havarti Gouda with an apricot spread. Oh, look at you all fancy. Grilled some Asiago Parmesan on the outside of the bread too. Ho, ho, ho. It is too early to be, well, I was going to say to be so hungry, but I'm not hungry. I ate 2 bagels. I'll skip your conversation. Pick up this one. I figure I just stick with one zone and do their quest, and it's going to be great because it's going to... should give me like a complete armor set. I feel like each zones give you 1 complete armor set and questing gear as you get through the zone campaign, and it's just in like a different level bracket. At least that's the way it used to work. I don't know if it still works that way. What is it that they want me to do now? We gotta find Adelgon, but he's very far away. Do you want me to fly there? All right. Okay, see you later. Great on eggs. Oh. Can you look at the Mythic Nighthold set? Let's see. Coffee. Those are raids. This is appearances. I think I have a vague idea of what you're talking about. I think I have a little bit of an idea of the Mythic Nighthold set. Let's see. It would be after Mists. Suppose I could search, huh? Here's Nighthold. There's Mythic. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like the shoulder orbs. How was Moose's playdate? He had so much fun. He doesn't even know how tired he is right now, but the answer is a lot. He was only there for like a half an hour, but like he was at 100% output for the entire half an hour. We had the field to ourselves, and you let him off leash, and he just like starts sprinting, and his back legs are going faster than his front legs. So his butt's kind of curling under him, and then he wants to like turn, and he thinks he can turn on a dime, but he's not used to getting up to the kinds of speeds that he can manage in open air. So he kind of wipes out a little bit turning, and then he's sliding on his hips in the grass, and he's a goofy boy. He had a lot of fun. I think he is going to sleep for the rest of the day. Hazel, the sun came out an hour ago, and it's getting up to 14 Celsius this afternoon. I am going to frolic so hard, as you should. Bought War Within, didn't get a teleportation scroll to go to Jaina. Maybe a reload? Might be level dependent. I didn't get mine until level 70. They want me to do this, huh? They want me to... Let's go save the Earth. No, this is like a quest version of it. They're gonna really walk me through this. Alright. Done that. Brand's nearly level 70. I'm pretty excited about that. I wanted to get to level 80 so I can do Underpin with all of the help I can muster. And we have to change his role and maybe change it back. Because I want him... I think I want him to heal. First time our pup got to go off leash in an open field is one of our fondest memories. Righty. Oh, yeah, they really do want me to do Earthcrawl Mines. All right. That's okay. We can do it. Remember to pick up the quest here. I'm at a level 384. It's probably better than last time. I don't know what I was last time, but I feel like it was like 330 or something. You know, they can't possibly expect me to have too much gear yet. They haven't given it to me. I can get a little food buff. Main 70, so it's not that. Is there anything at the top of your quest log that is telling you what to do? Because it's possible that you could just navigate to her without the teleport. And maybe she'll have your quest then. Yeah, if she's in Silithus or what have you. We're gonna do this. One hook shot. That is annoying though, for sure.
Don't step in those webs.
Oh no.
Might pop out if you do.
Not the Nerubians. So let's see. We can... I never really understood the need to go big on the hookshot things to avoid the webs when you can just cast like a thing on the web spreaders and they'll just go away. Not permanently, but like for long enough. Is it just me? Or I don't feel like doing all the Undermine World quests until next patch. Do whatever I need for the weeklies in the chat list for now. Yeah, totally fine. Bear in mind that the rep bonus will not apply to Undermine reps. So if you're waiting because you're hoping you can get more rep later, you will be waiting for a long time. But if you're just not in the mood for it, that's totally fine. That happens. Not touching World Quest till next batch. Okay. We good with this? Any grapple point.
That's everyone here. Let's keep this cart moving.
This one and this one. I feel probably the most lost with Warlock so far. It's not that I have no idea what's going on, but it seems more important to know what they do. On Paladin, I didn't know what any of the buttons did, but you could press basically any of them. They would light up like a fair, and you were having a good time. This one seems like maybe I can't quite get away with nearly as much ignorance.
Charging. Move.
Oh, I should get a health stone. We're gonna need that. What's this one? This one's important. That's Vile Taint. That's our AoE agony application. What's your plater profile? If we type exclamation plater, bot should spit it out right there. There you go. It's not perfect. It is far from a perfect plater profile, but it's the one that I'm using anyway. I made it before I realized that people tended to import plater profiles and not make them from scratch. I thought I had to make one from scratch. That's what I did. Waiting for the buff to the rep we receive from activities and Undermine in general. Oh.
Charging. Move.
Supposed to be faster even with no buff? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's good to know. I'm like really flattered that you like it. I don't even remember what I changed about it from default. It can't possibly be that much. Must be something though, because I do remember when I first installed Plater, I didn't like the default settings. And it took me a little bit to get it the way I wanted. Still not doing them because they don't seem worth to me. I'm going to be doing Undermine stuff for a long time because I want all the Goblin cosmetics. I think they're so fun. Plus, it seems like something that I have a shot at getting all of. Well, I guess maybe not the miscellaneous Mechanica stuff. That's going to be kind of tough. Do this. We're going to probably skip the malfunctioning doodad. Let's get that. That one. Confusing to talk about the buff. Undermine rep gains are getting buffed, but has nothing to do with the leveling buff. Oh. Is it... I need to read these patch notes. I was going to do it yesterday and I never got around to it. I need to sit down and read these update notes so I know what the heck's going on. That is confusing. I can see where I was getting tripped up. I think the trick with the Warlock, if I want to really enjoy it, is I just need to stick with it for a while. I need to persist a little bit and play it for longer than I was playing the other characters if I want to feel like I'm getting the hang of it. I don't think it's something that we're going to just like pick up to an 80% degree of capability overnight. You dry Destra. So much fun. Yeah. Maybe. I think I should probably stick with one spec, though, if I want to learn what it's doing. I think I might overwhelm myself if I try. Oh, I want the experience. All right, I wasn't going to do the rare, but I'm going to do it now. And then, what is it? That's Soul Rot? That's Soul Rot. And then that's Oblivion. Good. And then we've got Rapture.
Watch your step.
Right. And then maybe reapply some of these ones that are falling off. Yeah, it's going okay.
Watch your step.
Single target I think I could probably get the hang of.
Watch your step.
If you're like an Affliction, keep on with it. Figuring out rotation's always fun. Especially, it might help when I get to 80 because I'll grab the talent build and then I'll probably skim. I like to skim the rotation section of the Wowhead guide just to get a feel for the basics. I don't commit it all to memory, but sometimes it's nice just to have them tell you your most important thing is to get uptime on XYZ because otherwise you might easily slip your mind. Okay. this pack here, probably.
Watch your step.
One renown away from unlocking the chat list, but I can't be bothered.
Watch your step.
That's totally fine. I really like chat lists. I find they kind of organize me in the zone. If I'm confused about what to do, I can just be like, well, at least I'm going to go do my chat list, and then I can often do a couple other weeklies in the process of filling out the chat list. Plus, it's kind of satisfying that you only need 4 objectives, and one of them is a freebie because the pick a cartel one is always going to be up there. But it doesn't have to be for everybody. Alright. Make a little path. Do you want me to go upstairs? Okay. Let's just pull a few things together. This character I probably should change her settings so that I think she may have mouse overcasting on. Let me see. Maybe not. If she does, I need to turn it off. It's great for any healing characters, and I can play Shadow Priest with it on, because I'll just leave it on globally on my priest all the time. But for a character like this, it's just going to mess me up more than anything. Super happy that they're buffing Cartel Rep. Mostly play one character, and the idea of all those Paragon mounts is kind of exhausting. Every time I learn a new class, I feel like it winds up being easier than people suggest. Yeah, maybe. Ultimate Orange Apocalypse.
Communication in... sorry. Hello.
Undermine might still be laggy during peak hours, but I have not found it to be so. I have found it to be fine in recent weeks. It was bad originally, for sure.
Watch your step.
Don't stand there. I'm hoping that this character feels better in Delves once I get her a little bit more gear.
Watch
And that
your
it's not
step.
just a me thing or like a Warlock thing. I know I'm being a little bit stubborn by sticking to Affliction, but... Would you say it is under fine now? Undermine's under fine. That if you're on a shard with a world boss being killed, ooh yeah, that would do it. So, I only have 2 dots that I can put on
Watch your
groups,
step.
right? I have 4 dots, generally. Debuffs notwithstanding, like Shadow Embrace. I have 4 dots, but it's only Agony and Wither that can go on anybody. The other 2, Haunt and UA, are single target only.
Watch your step.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around the my priority here. Okay. Well, that makes it a little bit easier if I'm not trying to maintain 4 dots on a bunch of stuff. Not that I was. I don't think I was rotating them, but... It's alright. Good big AoE CD. Okay. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Irish fan. I hope you're having a lovely day. And then, so both of my AoE dots can be applied with thingies. Although, you do need to have something to actually proc the Seed of Corruption with. Full Rot, Seed, Rapture, and Big AoE pack's very fun. It seems fun. It seems satisfying if you can get it rolling. I'm a little afraid that in the kind of content that I'm going to get into if I ever do dungeons on her, that it's the melee will have everything dead before then, because that does sometimes happen. So Soul Rot, Seed of Corruption, and then I guess I could just start Rapturing. I'm assuming that I want to maybe put some of the single target dots on the target of the seed just to make sure it pops, but maybe that changes later.
The treasure room is up ahead. We'll wait for you to clear
This'll be
the
good.
area first.
I'm just keeping an eye out for gear. Yeah, they're only giving us stuff that's like 400, 430. I do have a lot of stuff that's still 330 though. That's gonna That's gonna help us out when we're done with it. Alright, I think I can pull more stuff. So let's grab these guys and this guy. And then we'll find a nice little spot to do it in. And there's Soul Rot. Okay. Oh, it fell off. I need to do it again. That's not the best for tiny keys or delves. Yeah. Yeah, that might be true. That might be a lesson that I've learned on my Shadow Priest a little bit. Meloness Priest and Delves. It does work, but it definitely does not feel as good. Like I felt slower on like a 660 Shadow Priest than I did on like a 639 Ret Palo or BM Hunter. Maybe I just wasn't brave enough about pulling. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oblivion. Rapture. Shadowbolt.
Watch your step.
It's a lot of dots to watch for. I think you probably get used to that. Realizing when certain ones are like about to fall off or in danger of falling off. Is my pet dead? No, he's fine.
Watch your step.
Customize your plater to help with that. I mean, they're all important though. Like I can see them all up here. I just need to. It's just more than I'm used to looking at on a Shadow Priest. You've got 2 tops. I think that's the joy of AF. Tank Brand still feels really bad when I'm healing. I think I got a little spoiled by Tank Brand when he was like crazy OP when I was healing. So like I'll still do it, but I don't like doing it just me. I'd rather heal Tank Brand with Flabby there too. Had fun in Affliction on exactly Sludge Fist, and preferred the huge crits from Chaos Bolt basically everywhere else. OP Tank Brand sounds so nice. Yeah, he was kind of ripped. He was really good. There we go. We got a trinket. Bashful Book. Sounds like it is a on equip, which we appreciate. Lovely. Make them glow and jump when they have pandemic windows. I don't think I've heard of pandemic yet in the context of this World of Warcraft spec. Okay, so he's done. We can turn that in. And we probably I don't think I'm gonna like make a huge deal about holding on to the Delver's Call quest. If I can turn one in, I will. Oh, we got a no, it's another one-hander. I have 2 one-handers, no offhands. I'm gonna need an offhand. Alright. Well, we got more quests. Back at it. I'm level 72. That's exciting. Let's pick another thing.
That's the first
spending.
time you asked that question.
Your fire spells gain more crit. I don't think I'm casting a lot of fire spells.
Start by helping the injured.
Maypulser, thank you for the 22-month resub. Hope everyone is doing well and had a great weekend. Thank you very, very much. Alright, how many things can we get away with here? Probably not super many, because we are not super geared yet. Let's do this. Seed. Soul Rot. Yeah, okay, that's enough to pop the thing, and then we can just spam Rapture for a little bit. That'll work. Perfect. Check World Quest or buy a cheap one for the auctionist. We did look into that earlier. Maybe I'm at a level range where I can do better now. I'm really cheap. I hate buying leveling gear. I'd rather get one from a quest. There may be new world quests, though, because we did them before the reset, so there may actually be some new stuff. No, there's not. There's just bracers. We have those already. Might be able to get a higher item level in them, but we cleared those out yesterday. Is that when they have 30% time left and you can recast the dot without wasting up time? If it is, that sounds cool. I have no idea. I'm new. A lot of the auctionist leveling gear is so overpriced. No, it's going to get replaced quickly. Yeah. Yeah, people will charge a lot for it because people will pay it. There's people that will be leveling and they'll want to, you know, fix a piece of gear, and maybe they have gold because they like got a token to come back to the game with, or something like that, and they'll just dump right into it. It's funny, my rarity is counting crackling shards attempts because I still don't have Alanira. That's how I know I've been procrastinating. I don't know my favorite way of pulling things when I want to like group things up so that I can start casting like big AoEs on them. I don't really know what my strat is there. Agony good? It's just that I'm going to apply it with Vile Taint the second I get them all stacked up. But it would give a head start, that is true. Let's have some coffee, huh? I was going to say, look, it's nice that at least my pet can tank all this stuff without really taking that much damage, and I look at them and the poor guy has like 2 health. Let's grab this one and this one. And then these guys. And then, I'm not very good at micromanaging my pet's position, so I'm usually better off just, like... running to wherever my pet landed. Like, I'll just meet him there. You know what we need? We need a soul stone. And then we need a health stone. Just for safety and safekeeping. That would have been a good idea to do a while ago. We need some more of these. When I get chat lists, how do they work? Can you explain it in silly person terms? Okay, you go upstairs, you get list. Open it up. It'll show you things you can do. And when you do, you click a button to finish them. There'll be different options every week. Or every list. You can usually just kind of pick up your chat list and then forget about it. And then when you're done whatever else you were doing and Undermine, you look at it again, you go, oh wow, I finished it. And then you can either turn it back into chat where you got it, which is upstairs in the hotel. Or, and if you do that, that's going to give you achievement progress and Valor Stones. But if you want reputation instead with one of the Goblin factions, you can take it to the quartermaster of the cartel that you are partnered with and use it to purchase a finder's fee, which gives you 500 reputation and 100 odd gold. Also a perfectly valid option. You get one for free in a week on each character, and then if you want to grind more than that, which I have a suspicion that you don't, but if you did, you could grind chat cards from mobs. They'll start to drop. But I've just been using the free ones. I have yet to use chat cards to make a to make a bonus list. Has not been needed. Oh, I'll wear those. Don't mind if I do. I'd rather get my part-timer achievement. 100 is so many. It is a lot, yeah. Yeah, if the rep buff next patch is really quite good, the changes, I guess, then maybe I will start turning my chat list into chat, because I do want the part-timer achievement. It gives a title, it gives the ability to buy a back piece, another jetpack, or the chet pack, as they say. But I want to make sure that I'm like really safe for rep first. Yeah, that's why people have alts to do chat lists, because the rep that you're getting is account wide. So that's one of the only ways right now to kind of brute force cartel rep is by using a bunch of characters to do chat lists. Or at least it's one of the fastest ways to brute force it.
I will answer your queries.
Okay, we're gonna get an offhand, and then we can finally use a real weapon instead of this 360. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be A-okay here.
Belgren,
What?
your help is
Ooh.
appreciate it.
Maybe after we get that weapon, I will pull open those patch notes and see if I can find them and read through them and find out what's going on. I was gonna do it yesterday and I forgot.
Now the core way.
I need Findor
Lovely.
and Tregor brought to the pool.
How do I put him in the pool? I'm too tall. Oh, there we go.
Good. Now for Ebona. She's fading.
My Stormrook can take her to Dornegal.
Reps for specific cartels is what you're getting from turning in chet lists
Thank you.
to the things. It's rep for the specific four. The overall cartels of Undermine Renown is super easy. That's going to happen by default. You get that in large amounts from weeklies that you're going to be doing anyway. That's not going to be your problem.
Best mind your manners in the presence of a queen.
Take one of the
Alright,
rams.
so now we've got, let's see, now it's 434. That one's 473. Let's wear that one. And a 460 lantern. Lovely. So that puts me up to 408. That's much better. That is massively, massively better. I'm going to pop in here and see if it's a rested area, just in case it is. A lot of the things on the list are not easy. Very annoying, so I gave up on alt. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of luck of the draw as to what you get on your list. Let me see if I can find these patch notes. I want to find out what's going on. What is it? 11.1.5. Sounds right. Arrives on April 22nd. Let's look at the WoW article, huh? The 11.1.5 content update arriving April 22nd, so 9 days from now. New activities, beginning with the launch of the update and then more to come in the weeks that follow, so it's kind of rolled out slowly. Begins with the Nightfall scenario, UI updates with a new cooldown manager, and the Winds of Mysterious Fortune, bringing with it an in-game XP boost and rep boost for characters 10 through 79. Interesting. Okay. So on April 22nd, we're getting the Nightfall scenario, collect epic rewards, defend Hallowfall for the Sureki, some kind of outdoor thing. Cooldown manager to the UI, and then the buff. And then on May 20th, a month later, that's going to be the Horrific Visions launch. And then another couple weeks after that, we get Dastardly Duos. So beginning on April 22nd through May 20th, you can get the Winds of Mysterious Fortune, 20% XP for leveling. Extra rep with major factions in Dragonflight zones and major faction renowns. 100% with Summon War within zones. It sounded like only through 79 though, so not once you're ult is 80. Anyway, it'll help you catch up with those renowns. Undermine factions do not benefit from that buff. Players will have a chance to gain mysterious satchels, variety of fun and interesting items. They can also include bonus gear appropriate to your level and spec, and 2 experience potions. Well, that would have been handy to have for leveling. You know, the leveling that I'm doing now before this buff comes out. The XP potions are warbound, can be consumed during the event or saved until after the event is over for any characters 10 through 79. That's kind of nice. Nightfall scenario. Variety of rewards, armor sets, tabard. New color variation of the dirigible as your rank increases. So you rise through the ranks. Okay, so it's another renown, but it's a short one, 10 levels. Earn buffs that help you become stronger in Hallowfall and Ashkahet. The cooldown manager. You can view important cooldowns and buffs in a separate customizable HUD elements for the selected spec. That sounds super nice. I will probably try to use this instead of like basic spec weak auras, because I'm somebody that for weak auras, I want like really important ones. Like if I'm playing a BM hunter, I want my frenzy stacker, I want my beast cleave uptime. I don't really need the rest of the stuff that you would get from like a Luxos pack though, so I think that this would be nice. You can adjust the utility cooldowns options bar, tracked buffs bar, and tracked bars, adjusting them to your preference. So that'll be cool to play with. And then you get Horrific Visions, and then you get Dastardly Duos. So hang on a second, let me dig around. There's got to be more granular information that people were talking about. That was 5 days ago. This is 3 days ago. Because there was people were talking about rebalancing to Oh yeah, diners are coming. Rebalancing to the thing. Rebalancing to undermine reps. Where would I find that? New activities. That's Season of Discovery. That's Mop Classic Beta. That's not it. 11.15 PTR notes. Classes, visions. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. It's a blue tracker. Increased rep gain. Oh, there it is. So increased rep gains for the 4 things from rare side gigs, weeklies, world quest by 100%. Okay. All right. Cool. Happy about that. I love Kablooey so much on the welcome screen, front and center. He's never too far. Yeah, I stuck with 1 goblin rep until I got into Exalted because I wanted to get like the mounts and I wanted to get some paint for my car. And exactly like Haley is saying, you might want things from Paragon rep anyway, so there's no harm in over capping a reputation within a week. Nice. All right, morning gamers, good morning. So what I've learned, which is something that I kind of already knew, is that I'm leveling a week too early and really should procrastinate on this because there's going to be great buffs that will make this a lot easier if I was to wait like 9 days. Oh well. Whatever. Oops. Off and away. You know, don't mind me. Oh, there's 838 gold if we do that one.
Our miners had to
Plus we
leave
can
their
turn in
tools
a
behind
little
when the
Delver's Call
ruby
quest
was
over here.
attacked. Please retrieve them.
Our item level's looking much better now that our weapon's been replaced, so hopefully that helps. I'm going to stick to this zone. I think I'm going to keep doing campaign questing until I get some piece of War Within gear in every slot. It doesn't have to be like super good or anything, but I want to replace basically everything so that I don't have any old heirlooms on anymore. Some of these are side quests, actually. I don't necessarily need to do all of them. Although, if I can do something that's just going to give me an upgrade here. Honestly, that's not an upgrade. I really shouldn't do this. It'll be fast, though. It'll be fine. You're just starting early. Yeah, maybe we'll want to level more. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I probably will. I think I'm having fun, like, picking out new characters to level. It's just funny that I'm not using all of the, all these characters that I made a point of getting leveled in Remix. Yeah, it's okay. Let's do Soul Rot. No time walking this week as far as I can tell. I think it ended last week. What did I just get? I got a spear. See, I should sell that to someone else who needs a weapon for 20,000 gold. I would take 1,000 gold for it. See if there's any takers. I don't need the transmog or anything. Not even 800. You know, that's reasonable. I'll stick it up for 48 hours. That's a huge gamble. Boy is not level 80. I decided to level this warlock instead of boy because I wanted to play either an undead or a human. Lost attachment to them, I guess. Yeah, it happens. You just gotta chase whatever thread seems fun.
Damn bugs. They're attacking
Uh-oh.
our injured.
Okay. Oh, there she is. There's Moira.
Let's get down to business then.
What are we gonna get
I
here?
must
I'm really excited whenever they're gonna give me something with a piece of gear because I'm like, wait, is it one of the pieces I need? I really need some of these. If there's no gear yet, it's coming soon.
toss it in there. Ha! I knew it would work.
You keeping him for the novelty? I'm keeping him because he's mine. Might level him eventually, you never know. What if he's happy as a level 70? Why am I here? Why am I inside of this? That's a tough question to answer. Besides, what if I become a warlock enthusiast and I level this one? And then I level the human warlock that was the second choice, and she can be the Destro warlock. And then I level boy, and he can be the demo warlock. And that way, I have one warlock for each spec. Dual spec, never heard of it. Over here. We did some more keys last night. We, did I time my first 12? I didn't. I almost timed my first 12. I would have done if I didn't mess up. I was a little upset with myself, but it happens. We had a Dark Flame Clefs 12 that was very timeable. We also ran, what was our other 12 that we tried? We did a couple, we did 2 11s and 2 12s. I forget the other 12 was. It might have been a Rookery. And that one was a little bit farther off than the Cleft was. But it's just going to take some more practice, I think. I did have fun. I did have fun. That's me with Druids 2 for each spec. The boy is mine. The song, it might just be the important bit. I just gotta get back in practice, I think. I apparently am not somebody that can just like pick up my character after having not played it in hard keys for like a week and a half and then just like rip off a 12. I need to like warm up, and I need to remind myself that I can do it. And I need to breathe and pay attention and not panic and not let my mind wander too much. Sometimes the fights take a while and then I like stop thinking, especially if I feel like I've got it under control. And then a mechanic happens, like somebody's charging at me or pointing a arrow at me, and then I don't notice until it's like a little bit too late. A little bit of a mind wandering problem. On par to timing a 13 Rookery. On the very last boss, the healer just fell off. No! Oh, man. We were really struggling on that last boss. We were losing people here and there. It was tough. That's a tough one to heal. Falling off notwithstanding. Let's grab like 3 things. And then I'm probably just gonna have to dot you the old-fashioned way. Something like that. Everyone's so spread. I found that there's these little stone squares on the corners of the room, and I cannot tuck in close to them because I am too short and I cannot see over them. I don't know if it's this way for other races, but for gnomes, they break line of sight. And typically you'll have a tank around one side of them, and then you'll have some of your DPS around the other side, and they'll try to like stand, I don't know, like right on that corner. But I found I have to be really careful because I can't see over it, so I need to be either much farther back, which is longer to run, or I can be on top of it as long as I'm careful not to drop anything on it. Or I'm just roaming. It's just a mess, though. You get anything for completing the War Within campaign? I believe that you do it to unlock something at least the first time. There isn't, as far as I know, any good reason to repeat it, though. So that's just for doing the Theater Troop event, which will be up in another 8 minutes. I'm looking for the burrow. There's one more burrow to collapse around here somewhere. You'd think I could see it. There it is.
Hold on. Help is on the way.
The main reason that I'm replaying the campaign of this character is because I really want the questing greens. Just to kind of get a nice little fresh reset for her characters. Yeah, I know all about the swimming in places. I don't know about drowning, but Siege of Paralis was awful because of the fountain boss, because my gnome would swim in the fountain, so if I stepped into the water, I was moving much more slowly than other characters. So I had to run the long way to get around the fountain and out of line of sight of the big wave attack, because otherwise I would not make it because I was swimming so slowly. Are you saying there's a reason not to play a gnome? No, I'm just saying we have fun and unique experiences. If anything, other people should feel bad that they don't play gnomes because they're missing out on the stories.
Your cinder brew makes for quite the weapon, Wendell.
Alright, so that's not going to be up for a few more minutes. I want to do this, but it's just for 800 gold. I'm so easily bribed. Let's see if we can turn this in. I didn't get anything from the... Oh no, I forgot what I got. I didn't get anything from the delve itself, did I? Because I know I did it. That's not for me. I keep my bags clean so I can figure out what it is that I am and am not wearing.
The council is
Why do
needed
you like
here
those?
in Dornagol
Yeah, Bill's
more than
personality.
ever. It is
Well, those are
time
pretty
we
big
stand as
upgrade.
one and strike back against the Nerubians.
And those two things just turn in there even though they're not campaign necessarily. Alright, we're at 72 and a half. Maybe my goal for today will be 75. You know, not try and binge it all in one day. What's under here that we need to be doing? I am enjoying running around as an undead, though. And I will run on atomic recalibrators when people put them down in raids or dungeons. Especially in raid. I know it's a bit... Listen, it's not because I'm short, but sometimes, especially in Gallywicks, there's a variety of soaks on Gallywicks where you need to have specific numbers of minimum people in them. And I find that sometimes people don't count me if I'm on them when I'm a gnome. So if I have stepped on a recalibrator and I've turned myself into a troll, you know, or somebody else who's large, then I'm more likely to be considered when people are trying to figure out how many people are already soaking something or whether or not something is already being soaked. Mugsy soaks are another good example of that. I might stand on something, and even though the icon of it changes, if I'm short, I find that people will often not trust me. So sometimes it's nice to use a transform toy just for raid, just so people can see where you are. Got my undead warrior to 50, and man, the heritage armor for undead is so cool. Hello, hello, Skymouse. How are you doing today? Happy Sunday. I'm kind of getting attached to this undead with her crown and her pink bikini. It's kind of working for me. Maybe she wear a fluorescent transmog. You know what? You're right. You know what I need to do is I just need to mog a very tall helmet. Just get one of those super, super big. There's lots of enormous helmets in this game. I just need to mog one of those so that people see me. No one would miss highlighter, no.
Will be wasted if we're attacked again. We need to
but yeah, it seems like the height, it's something that they could probably fix eventually, one day. Wear the trading post hat. Any gear yet? I mean, even gear aside, this is pretty good. You want me to do the follower dungeon? Oh, you really do. Fine, fine, fine. This'll be fun. I forgot they had you do this. I feel like she does look better showing off her bones. You know, it really brings new meaning to warming your old bones. You know, she's letting them get a little bit of sunshine. So they want me to just do this, huh? So you're tanking. Am I leading? I'm leading. So I can pull whatever I want. So I say 2 packs, because this is what my raid leader does, is that we do 2 packs and then we do a little lust. Now, I don't have lust. Oh, watch out for the orbs. I was just in here last night. And you gotta remember the orbs come back. I always forget and I always get murdered. Nice. I want to make a Cultiran of some kind for one of my alts. Maybe I'll level one of those during the leveling event. I had a female bald Cultiran pop up from, I think it was an atomic recalibrator. And it was kind of serving, so I want to maybe make one and like mog it on purpose. Like the rest of Shaman idea. Yeah, it might be kind of fun to try out different healers. Do you love Cultirans? They make such good shamans. They've got lovely totems. Okay, so I think I'm in charge here, and I say 2 packs. I say pack 1, and then we'll get the pat. And then he'll group them up.
The title, the glory, it should have been mine, Pilgrim.
I want everything to be able to be a shaman. What is your most desired shaman race that does not have them presently? Which race do you want to get them? My mind immediately goes to gnomes, but that's just because I think that gnomes should be able to be everything because I love them very much and I want them to have options in their lives. I think they deserve choice. Gnome demon hunters, let's go. No paladins as well. Worgen shamans. Cultier and Frostmage kind of fits the theme. Yeah, for sure. Gnome druid, give me robo bunnies. Gnome druid would be so cute. No, gnomes and goblins should get druids at the same time. What if we don't kill all the trash? What if we just fight it over here? It'll be fine. We'll just kill it, you know? And if we get trash, we'll just fight it on top.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Here's the Orbeez. It's kind of funny that I actually remember what's going on in this fight. Specifically because I did this yesterday. On a 12. That's the only thing that's going to make me learn this dungeon is doing it on a 12. What, Night Elf for Gnome Shamans? I always wanted Night Elf alt, but then I don't stick with them. I made that Night Elf Hunter and I thought that was going to be my Hunter, but then I ended up wanting to play the, I wanted to play the whatchamacallit. Got Bop and more. I wanted a Goblin Hunter instead. QB Ranger, thank you very much for the 32-month resub. That's such a long time. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oopsies. Whoopsie daisy. Down we go. Do I have, yeah, I got my Hellstone and stuff. We're all okay. So we're heading, what, this way? And I feel like sometimes we can get away with not pulling. Maybe we need to pull. Let's get these guys and these guys.
Pulling in.
Did I get the seed off? I don't know if I got the seed of corruption off. Might have done. Gonna need the character limit to be 100. I loved both the Cultier and Restus Shaman and Frostmage in Remix. Couldn't keep the Shaman anymore. Out of character space, right. Do you think Cultierans make good monks, or do you think they feel too big and clunky for it? I feel like a Cultieran hitting you with martial arts would hurt very much. Like it would it would do some real damage. You don't have to be very big for that, but you could be.
Pulling in.
Cultier Brewmaster Monk made sense to me. That does make a lot of sense. Male Cultierans are so much fun to make. I love Barnacles a lot. I have a harder time finding my groove with female Cultierans, but I want to try it again. Boy, KT Monk. He got axed at some point, but he was my first KT. I feel very inspired by the first boss of Cinderbrew Meadery. You know, like the... What's a dishonest bartender to do guy?
He will take you to safety.
Break it up. Cinderbrew Meadery might be my favorite dungeon flavor-wise. If you've never done it with voice acting on, you have to turn dialogue sound on and run Cinderbrew. It gives me life whenever I'm doing keys in there. Oh, my mead. The stills are too hot. The mead will be substandard. It's like so... It's kind of clunky writing, but like you get it because he's an earthen, so they just kind of talk clunky. And then the lady, she's all like, "Yeah, boy signed something he didn't understand." I love the BEO. He's cool. The BEO herself. We had to lock up your bees.
Pulling in.
Takes the edge off because the damage in that place. I really love Bank because he's like a goblin, so you expect him to be all selfish about it, but he's all like, "My bees! I've got snacks for you!" It's perfect. 10 out of 10, no notes. I also really like, in that fight, whenever I have time healing-wise, I love being the barrel smasher. Are we fighting people? We are fighting people. I love being the barrel smasher because you can get on one of the bees.
Target you.
And then you can
Watch
run it. You can move on the bees and you can kind of try to line up to kill as many barrels as possible. And depending on when the bees die, sometimes you can
Run.
save a bee from the last set to do the barrels like right when they come down if you get on it at the right time. And there's healing to do in that fight during like the wing beat thing, but that's the only time there's ever any actual damage. So in between that, you can basically just
Watch
play
well.
around and do mechanics so that your DPS can blast. I'm just gonna let them do this mechanic. This is a them problem.
Target you.
Finally managed to catch you live. Hello. Hoping Dawnbreaker and Cinderbrew would win the dungeon vote. People were talking about how they maybe voted, or that maybe people voted for the sake of trinkets, like good trinkets. And it just doesn't really compute in my head because, like, if it's not available, then no one has the trinkets and you can still do the best damage with whatever the trinkets are. It's not like you're going to clear the tier easier because there were really overpowered trinkets in the pool. Like, they'll balance for that. It's the same difference. I did not really want to do Arakara again. It's just like it's a zero. I don't know if a zero-sum game is the right word, but like it's not like you're gonna get the trinkets and then no one else is gonna because you're the only one who gets to go in the dungeon. Like you're gonna be in the same point that you always are. I don't know. Arakara wasn't my favorite. Both of the Ajkahet dungeons were not my favorite. They were fine, but I mixed them up a lot and I didn't like super love either of them. They were just very, very dark, very blue. Okay, let's grab a couple packs of civilians.
We have to take it down.
Maybe like this guy. But whatever the dungeon is, I'll end up doing it. I don't think they've ever brought back a dungeon that I like really hated. Although they have not yet brought back the other side. Sometimes when they bring back a dungeon that I really don't like, they do it, but they like change all the things I didn't like about it. Like Theater of Pain, I felt was a lot worse last time, and they've made a lot of great changes to it that make it feel much more, I don't know, player friendly. Like a lot of the mechanics are better telegraphed, or they've changed some of the really annoying ones. Like City of Threads more if I had to choose between the two. Oh yeah. This poor NPC healer trying her best to get the thing off. I just realized we're doing this with Earthen. I kind of thought it was always going to be with the starting zone people. That debuff does suck to heal. I will give them that. Can we do 2 packs? Maybe not 3, but... It'll be great. It'll be really fun. You guys just trust. Enjoyed the last boss of Theater of Pain. I like it a little better now than I used to. I still am kind of a liability in there, though, because I get so focused on avoiding one mechanic. I swear my brain has a spell queue, and if too many things are happening at once, I won't have finished processing the last thing. So I'll be dodging the beam and I'll get hit by the charge, or I'll be dodging the charge and I'll get hit by the beam at that one spot where they overlap. I have to really focus on pinning myself to my tank who is positioning correctly, otherwise I'm dead on that particular moment of that fight, because I cannot. I'm sure I can if I practice, but I'm historically very bad at managing both of those things at once. Gosh, we were in Floodgate yesterday. We did a Floodgate 11. And it was the boss that has the bombs that you dispel and you knock people up. The pair of bosses. And I had the thing on me, so I was going to go find a bomb to dispel myself on. So I find a bomb, I run, I dispel myself on the bomb. I'm starting to heal myself back up because I'm almost dead from the dispel. And then I realized that the charge was also targeting me, and not only was I not pointed at a new bomb, but also I wasn't dodging it. Like, I just didn't, my brain didn't load as fast. I was still buffering. It was not going well for me. Playing a lot of gnomes for a while. Been mainly been maining night elves. Nice. Oh, got a piece of gear from that. Convenient. Can we just leave instance group? Should be able to. Dungeon's over. Turns in over here. Also, we got our Archives Weekly done. That's worth some experience, and then that'll give me a little loot chest as well. Whenever I put a new pair of pants on her legs always look so skinny. I was used to seeing her with a skirt on. It was kind of doing her some favors. 10 runs to not die every time, and now I can do it, and I think I feel accomplished. That's why I like it. That's how I used to feel about the last boss of Plaguefall, the smashy lady, Margrave. When are we getting her back? I was so determined to learn that because I used to get smashed constantly during the ring smash pattern. I would not get in position correctly, and I would really struggle with that. And then I was like, I cannot be this liability. So I would pug specifically Plaguefall over and over and over again to practice that boss and just run it back and work on it. I think this will be good for leveling. And then our box had a cloak, which is perfect. I had a 333 cloak, so that's going to be very good. Did you solo her for that mount? I did. I did do the man thing. I think I did it on a bear grid. Don't remind me of that one. I never did well on her. That boss made me unleash some of the loudest profanities I've ever unleashed while gaming. I just remember it was such difficult healing because those diseases would come out and the AoE was really strong and you were trying to pick people up, but they were kind of spread out and then they were running and then you were running. Some fights really do not like to let you stand still and fix the mess that they've made.
They must be after the cinder brew.
You guys can discuss this amongst yourselves.
We are the bedrock.
He wants to send me to Meadery.
Your signal. I'll lure them
How are we doing? We are still looking for upgrades to Helmet,
And we will
one
prepare
trinket,
a welcome
one
for
ring,
our guests.
and then Belt. So we're looking much better. I would probably be a lot stronger into Delve this time around. Hi, kitty. Also, I could do a pet battle real quick to get a marked flawless battle stone. Those are good. I have lots of battle pets that need quality upgrades. This Holy, I felt like I was struggling so much. The saving grace about Holy was that you had disease dispel, so you could at least purge one person of the disease. And then I typically had a paladin in the group so they could get another one. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi, sweetie. Dialogue UI is the name of the add-on that's changing my quest text box. Dialogue UI. Already endured. Nice job. Thank you very much. I am level 73. We're doing campaign for a while until we get back into Delves. Always chose me. Yep. Yeah, I will very frequently dispel myself first because it's a special kind of panic when you think you're gonna die, and also it's a lot easier to save a wipe when the healer is still up versus when the healer is down. So I will put on my mask before helping others. I will dispel myself first in a batch of dots, and then get around to others. I also tend to keep tabs of which players in my group have dwarf dispel and are likely to use it, and I will not dispel them first either because they're likely to dwarf it. So Flabby and then my tank, they're both dwarves, and they will often dwarf like dangerous AoE dot applications like that, so they won't get a first dispel either. It'll be me first and then one of the DPS that's not a dwarf. Hardest lesson for heals to learn is to be selfish. Hey, you can't heal anybody. I was gonna say you can't heal anybody if you're dead, but that's actually not how Holy Priest works. You can absolutely heal people when you're dead for a while. You can do it for a little bit. Hi, kitty. Have you met my cat? Have you seen Miss Kira? She's so sweet. She's so patient. You let the dog lick you this morning and you didn't even get mad. I mean, you do that every morning now. I think you like it. I think you like it. You get big moosey kisses on your face.
The charged silt from these clashing elementals are packed with healing properties.
Little ponytail. I have two. I'm sure I look ridiculous, but my hair is long enough for a little ponytail, but it's not long enough for one. So I guess I should say it's long enough for two. So I have one at the top to corral some of this hair, and then I have one at the back to keep it off my neck. And if I want to try to pretend that it's a bun, I can like pin them towards each other. But otherwise, I just have like a little Cindy Lou Who situation going on. I think I'm doing this world quest. I think I cannot resist the 838 gold any longer. It'll be great. It'll be fast. It'll be a wonderful time. Let's dot some stuff up, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. I was a healer main in Elder Scrolls Online. I'm simultaneously pushy about using cleanses, but also forget to keep an eye on myself when things get spicy. The thing that I'm having to adjust to now for trying to heal 12s is always, like, uptime, basically. Like, always being casting. Because as a healer, sometimes you don't want to always be casting, because you might just be wasting your mana. But once as I've been getting into these 12s, I've found that there's always somebody taking damage, and if there's not, there's somebody about to take damage, and I might be able to actually precast that heal and have it land after some damage comes out. So I've been kind of leaning on my cheap heal, like my regular heal, in between as like a filler to be kind of like precasting it on people. Because I find that if I'm just waiting for damage to happen, I'm not going to react fast enough and people are going to die. Any given cast is going to do about 55% of someone's health. So if they take 2 back-to-back, they're toast. So if somebody takes a cast and they're brought down to half, you have to fix it now. Otherwise, they are in mortal danger. It's much more urgent than healing lower keys. What are the best healers right now? That's a good question. I don't know. Want to buzz my hair? Know everyone will ask about it, make a big deal. I get socially anxious, so my goal is to buzz my hair after I move, so they always know me as the guy with a buzz cut. Yeah, I get that. I think that would work just fine. If you do decide to do it earlier, you just you figure out your 1-sentence explanation and you just practice it, and then you can just whip it out on demand. But yeah. Do you think you'll buzz yours again? Maybe. I don't know. I tend to take my hair one day at a time. It's definitely super refreshing to have it crazy short, especially for summer if it gets hot. You go swimming, rub a towel on it, it's dry again. You take a shower, you know, rub a towel on it, it's dry again. You can shampoo it in about 25 seconds with like a tiny amount of shampoo. It's great. It's not, yeah, I may have had those conversations once or twice. I bring it on myself because I change my hair constantly and I'm in such a visible position. But yeah, at a certain point you just don't want to talk about it anymore. Especially if it feels like other people are like attached to your hair, because it's like, well, what do you care? It's not yours. But people sometimes will have opinions, and that's fine. They can have opinions. It's just weird when they like try to make them your problem. Got mine into a bob. Find myself missing it long. We've got a flower over here. And then I wonder if they're going to make me do follower meadery or if they're not. If they do, then I can turn on the voice acting I was talking about and we can enjoy my bees. Also, I should probably clean up my bags a smidge here. Oh, I missed the theater troupe. I could have done that. It would have been at the top of the hour. Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles. I'm just going to vendor that girdle. I don't want to bother selling it. My greens are scaling up. At least the greens that I got from Delves. They're still scaling up. That's so funny. Oh, we got another trinket. Perfect. That puts me up to 436. And I think I can maybe put my transmog back on. Love shaving my head. I'm a dude, so it doesn't get as noticed. When I started to lose my hair and kept shaving my head and people noticed and tried to help. Yeah. Probably move more south than we are. It'll be hotter. Nice to not have to deal with it. Get up super early. Saves me time getting ready at like 4 a.m. Yeah. That was the thing I really liked about having super short hair, is that you don't really have good or bad hair days. Your hair can't really do anything because there's not very much of it. So it's much faster to look, I guess, clean and put together. Maybe for people with different hair textures, they can just kind of like run a brush through it and be fine. But I'm not one of those people. So it was refreshing to have like a year or two where I could just kind of like wake up and wash my face and be as presentable as I was ever going to be without needing to do anything extra. Wear a hat, take it off. Not look like I just touched an electrified fence. I don't remember this quest. I wonder if I should pivot to 436. I wonder if I should think about pivoting to Delves. I probably have enough gear to get away with it now. Oh, I remember this. Okay, you have to actually do the thing. I gotcha. I gotcha. What do I want? I want some water and to do a better job at this quest. Nothing beats showering with super short hair. It's so satisfying. Like I still give myself scalp massages in the shower, but like you have to be a lot more cautious about like pulling your hair or tangling your hair when it's longer. And there's something really nice about just being able to really get in there. Thought about what your next mount run will be. There must have been something that I was kind of working on that I've stopped for now that I would go back to. I guess the question is if it is an instance mount run or a world mount run, because there's definitely world rares like Karakta and Rustfeather that I need mounts from still. The instance ones are more fun though. Maybe King's Rest. I don't have the King's Rest mount. Could do that. Yeah, saves a lot of money. Although I will say I can get away without, well, I don't know about get away with, but I tend to not pay for professional haircuts anyway. Even when my hair is long, I just cut my hair myself. It's never gonna look super amazing, but I've just decided that people can just love me anyways. I can save that money. I need it for other stuff. Still didn't get corrected, me either. Always cut my own bangs. Yeah, and bangs especially when I had straight bangs, and I might do them again if I can get myself. I guess I could just wear them curly sometimes. I was gonna say if I can bring myself to straighten them every day, but ugh. Anyway, bangs grow too fast for me to get them cut professionally. I got them cut professionally once when I was like 16, and then after that I just kind of liked the way that I ended up doing them with, you get yourself a pair of hair cutting scissors, so you're not just sawing at them with kitchen shears, but doesn't take super long to do, and even if you do them kind of uneven, you just wear side swept bangs for 2 weeks and then try again when they grow back. Like, you have plenty of chances for practice. A few years I had an afro. A few years back, shaved the sides and do a fro hawk. Ready in about 5 minutes. I feel like we're all just kind of getting older and adjusting to a point where we still want to like have, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I know a lot of people moving through their 30s and into their 40s are, you still want to have your style and you still want to express yourself, but it's not as life or death as it seemed in your teens and 20s. And it's nice to kind of have that little bit of compromise with, I want this to be manageable and to not take over my life. My life will not end if I do not look magazine perfect, and I don't want to spend that much time and money on something like that. Love the term Frohawk. Frohawk died to look like a little flame on my head. Like a Charmander? Oh no, Charmanders don't have flames in their heads. Charmeleon. Actually, I don't know if they did either. They should. It's cute. Do we have a full of joy? Thank you for the 8-month resub. After 4+ years cutting my own hair through COVID, finding paying someone else to do it really relaxing. Any feels when turning 30? Just turned 29. Not me, but mileage may vary. Maybe I'll feel differently when I get to 40 one day, but I kind of started to identify in my 30s before I even got there. It's not that I was in a hurry to grow up, but sometimes I guess I had this idea that some of the anguish about leaving your 20s behind is the idea of no longer living like carefree, no longer being adventurous, or I don't know, having like a really happening social life and settling down. And I had kind of pre-settled down. I was already perfectly like snug in my cocoon. I didn't really need to leave any like risky fashions or partying or anything behind me. I didn't feel I needed to change in any way. Not that you would need to even if you were living in a different way, but like I'd kind of already made my peace with it. So it didn't really bother me that much. I don't really remember my 30th. I know I turned 29 right before I moved back home, so I turned 30 at home. And I know I had like a cake and I had a little party, but birthdays are fun. My partner spoils me rotten on my birthday. Also every other day, but like extra on my birthday. Oh no, not this quest. No, I don't want to do it. Oh, it's gonna give me a piece of gear though. I forget. That's right. I have to do things. Sure, whatever. I do not have any children. Well, that's not true. I have a dog. I have a dog that I'm like really obsessed with. So there's that. But I don't have any human children. I also have a cat, but she's more like my roommate.
We are out of time.
Yeah, Moose's kitty cat is like the wise aunt that lives in home, and then my puppy is like baby. He's my little moosey bear.
We will keep them gathered by the kegs. Thin out the swarm. And
Only
stop
streamer
them
to
from
say my
getting
name
past
right.
us.
Aw. Hair is annoying. Granite pixie layers are weird. I think that's one area in which I'm actually really lucky to have curly hair, in that all of my weird in-between stages are gonna look kind of like a big flop of curls no matter what, and no matter how long and weird the layers are, because it just all kind of blends together. So I think I'm actually getting off easy on the buzz cut regrowing phase, because it can just kind of be a curly poof, and then I can smoosh it into like, I can just pin it back whenever I'm sick of it. I think it would be tougher if it was straight. Always did a buzz cut as a guy, but now I'm 32, trying to grow my hair. Very curly. Girl, so much work. Yeah, I know all about that.
Still have 2 fuses left. Keep fighting.
It's fun when it works, though. My favorite is when I scrunch out product on my curls, and the curls have set really nicely, and the product smells really good. I use this Cantu stuff from Walmart, and it smells like amazing when I'm setting up my curls. Having a dog is like having a child more than having a child. I won't make that claim personally, but I will not argue with it. I took my baby for a play date this morning. He had so much fun. My baby. Did this at least 5 times my level 80 alts. I don't remember this. I mean, I remember it a little bit. Yeah, it probably depends on the dog and the child.
The fuses! We can't ignite the kegs!
What?
I must fulfill my
I spent all that
edict.
time setting up the
What?
fuses.
Forget the edicts!
I cannot. That is why it
Yeah,
must
yeah.
be me. You must
Give me my
guide
mead speckled pantaloons. Thank you.
He's gone.
Both puppies harder than
We
newborns.
did it, but
My puppy is gonna be 2 in May. I don't think I could get away with calling him a puppy anymore. I mean, I can call him a puppy forever, but you know what I mean. He's not like a puppy anymore. He's gonna be a big old grown-up dog. Alright, which delves do I want to do? Now that I'm 73, and I've got like a little bit of gear here, I think I can probably more reasonably do them. I think Earthcrawl Mines must have been the one, or was it Fungal? No, it was Earthcrawl Mines. So I've done that, and then I did the Underkeep. I want to kind of work through the different ones. Would you get a second dog? I mean, don't let Moose hear me talk about this. I don't know. It would depend very much on my situation. How much space I had, how much money I had, because they're just such a huge financial liability. Moose would love a sibling, a dog sibling. He would go absolutely nuts. He loves dogs. He's so social. he wants desperately for the cat to play with him, and she won't do it because she's a cat that doesn't want to. But I would need to be very financially comfortable and have enough space and time to manage multiple dogs, because I think it could make things tougher. Miss Kira. Do the underwater one since you can breathe, right? He's just a bigger puppy. My manager will have a newborn in a couple of months. Somehow got convinced to get 2 puppies. Sometimes life just happens like that. Like everything just starts happening all at once.
Must go.
Hopefully she's got a good, or hopefully they've got a great support system and lots of people that can help with all of the above things that need care. There we go.
I will accompany you to the ring.
Bottom of the core west. That's going to take me to the Ringing Deep. So I've done like a set. I think we're going to pivot into delves and see how they feel. I probably, if I don't feel like I can do 3s, I should probably pivot into 2s and 1s, but like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Let's do Fungal Folly. Did I do Creekfall's Rest? I wish I could see which ones I'd done. There's 3 up here. I think I just did Earthfall's Mine, so Earthcrawl Mine, so I think I need to do these 2. I think I need to do Fungal and Creekfalls. I do not need their stories, so it doesn't really matter what story they're gonna give me. Mine is 12 in 2 weeks. Oh. Can confirm 2 dogs staring at their yearly vet visit, costing like $600 soon. Look at the sleepy face. Yeah. I'm trying to buy a house, so I'm very, very aware of all of my expenses and all of the soon-to-be expenses and things like property taxes and homeowners insurance and maintenance and all of the things that go into buying a house, and it's all a lot of money. And it's fine. I'm doing it because I'm more or less financially prepared for that, but it's still really scary. I've been kind of living easy because I've been able to comfortably pay my expenses and still be saving with my lifestyle now. And the thought of spending a little bit more on my monthly housing, even if it's for the sake of building equity, is just stressful because I haven't had to worry too much about money because I've had a nice safety cushion and because I've been making more than I spend, which is good, and I want to continue doing that, but I might need to work a little bit harder. Doing delves is decent leveling. I wouldn't say it's like the fastest possible thing, but it's not bad. The Delver's Call quest is really where it's at. This quest gives a huge amount of experience, and you can get one for each delve. You can more or less level 70 to 80 with just one tour of all the delves, but it does take a while to tour the delves. Yeah, and the gear seems to scale. I don't know how long that's going to continue for, but it's been doing it for a while, so maybe it'll keep it up. I find that these delves take me about 15 minutes each. Maybe it'll get a little faster. In the process of closing on my home. Congratulations. I hope everything goes well. I hope you're sleeping and eating good and stuff. It's a big process with a lot of pieces. Just die from falling down that hole. Oh dear. I did first question mark underpin. I have not done second question mark underpin. I tried it for a while and I wasn't making a ton of headway. So I have pivoted to not worrying about it until I get my brand fully leveled. I may or may not also try it on a different character. Flavio's trying to talk me into doing either BM Hunter or Rep Paladin instead of my Priest because they'll probably have an easier time of it. And I think he's right. I'm just really stubborn. And my Priest has by far the highest item level because she's my main. So I feel like I should be able to do it on my Priest, but her tools are inarguably the worst. She does terrible damage while moving. She's not wildly survivable. She doesn't really burst very effectively when it does come shield breaking time. She does okay at Shatter Priest, but like it could be a lot better. I like to buy, but being responsible for everything gives me anxiety. Yeah. I feel that. I also feel, though, that not owning the place that I live also gives me a different kind of anxiety. There's a lot of things that you're kind of at the mercy of when you rent that you don't have a lot of control over. And you're never going to have control over everything. It's impossible to mitigate all risk in life. As much as I wish that was not true.
That's more like it.
I think I've reached the point where if I can buy something that I'm going to be happy in, I'm sure there's gonna be tons of new anxieties for me to discover as a homeowner, but I think it's gonna be better than the fundamental uneasiness of not being in the homeowning, because if I don't get in, I think it's gonna run away from me. I think it's gonna outrun me. I want to get in while I can. BM Hunter with Healer, I could do tier 11 delves at only 648. I should maybe pull a little bit more. We're doing much better here. Oh, there's a scout to rescue there. Pardon me. I wonder if I could be having my Bran DPS, actually, because I have him healing right now, but currently he's not. I don't really need him to. Does it matter what delve level you do a leveling? I have been kind of trying to parse that out, and I can't really figure it out. You get better item level gear, better base item level gear from the 3s. I think you get more experience. I'm not 100% on that. But what I found last time when I was leveling my last character was that it didn't really take any longer to do a 3. Like, it took me about the same amount of time to do a 3 that it took me to do a 1. So I figured if it's any better at all, then I may as well do the 3. If you're finding that it's a lot faster to do the 1s, then that might be the move. I wasn't able to get a definitive answer on that. Healer Band will heal your pet. You still have to step on the potions yourself, but it can do it. But Cragmoth is full health. He doesn't need me right now. Oh, experience. I think especially if you have a high level Bran, it's not going to really be any harder to do a rank 3 delve. Tried double question mark on my own demo lock. It was not easy, but you also don't use Voidwalker for tanking, so it's rough. Full-time job, yes. Content creation, I would say. I only stream 3 hours a day. I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't posted to it a whole lot. I do plan to post more to it eventually. I know I've been saying that for years, but one day it'll be true. Yeah, time walking dungeons are very fast for leveling. They're a little slower in a DPS character because it's going to take you longer to get into them. And then time walking week, of course, isn't always up. My big grief with time walking, my big gripe with it, is just that I'm bored of it. I don't want to do it. I have been leveling via delves and world quests and campaign quests. I was going to say a little bit of time walking, but not for this character, actually. For my last one, did some time walking. Gearing is going to be pretty easy. Once I hit 80, I have gear in my bank that I got from my main. I have a lot of Warbound gear just from playing this patch, so I can kind of stock her up from that. And then I do delves. I've been gearing up my characters via delves. You can get up to 8 delves in a week with champion keys. You can do... because you're going to get 4 champion keys, or 4 keys, pardon me, that you can use to do 8 delves to get champion loot. You can get 4 keys from boxes, you can get 2 keys from undercoins, and then you can get another 2 keys-ish from coffer shards if you do your Radiant Echoes and stuff. If you're really desperate to gear up, you can get quite a bit of gear that way. Plus 1 hero track piece from... you're going to get a hero track piece from your map when you get that, and you will get hero track gear from the vault as long as you're able to do 8s. And I find even my fresh alts can do 8s if they really believe in themselves. Sounds like a nice job. It's got a lot going for it. It's got an awful lot going for it. I wouldn't complain one bit. My partner is not a content creator. Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? I should save wigs for streamathon goals. Get some costume changes. Okay. There's a curiosity over there. I think I need to hop up on this thing. That interview makes me laugh so much. The first time somebody asked me that, I was kind of offended because I was like, what do you mean? I don't have to wear wigs. And they were like, no, 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 it's like a thing. And I'm like, what? And then I finally found the clip like ages later. And I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I did not understand what they were quoting at first. That's a really good one. Such a good clip. He did wear wigs. My favorite meme interview clips are that, and then Larry, I'm on DuckTales is a classic. Here, we'll get this. I don't think this is where I need to be, though. Ah, that's where I'm going. Hi, kitty. Okay. I think my benchmark for when a delve will have taken too long for it to be like terribly efficient, or for when I need to think about speeding it the heck up, is if I get to the end and DBM tells me I was in there for longer than 15 minutes. Because I found that for me a fast delve is 10 minutes and a slow one is 15. But it doesn't usually get past that. That's usually about as bad as it gets. Sometimes I think I have shards and I do not. How level are we? Coming up on 74. Kitty left here and has gone to go sing her song in the living room. Wow. I had dreams about my dog chewing up the tiny plushies that live on my desk, and then I vacuumed them up, and I was deciding if I should try to rescue them or if I should just let them go because I was going to move anyways and I was downsizing. I think it's because last night while I was doing keys, Moose at a certain point decided that he was going to lay right behind my chair and pout that I wasn't done gaming yet, and he managed to get one of my poor Murlocs, and he didn't like rip it to shreds, which I know he could, because when Moose has toys, Moose will disintegrate them. But because he knows it's not his, he didn't like demolish it, but he did nibble on the little toofies, which is kind of meta. I had to pull this mid-Dark Flame Cleft 12, mind you, after we'd already blown the timer, but in the middle of this Dark Flame Cleft 12, I had to reach down and confiscate this poor Murloc from my dog. My cat's so chatty, I wish I knew what she was saying all the time. Sometimes I think Kira's just like expressing her feelings, you know, it's less about like trying to say a specific thing and more just like, you know, she's got a message, she's got art, she must sing.
Bruntle.
Lucy's so funny. He doesn't grumble like a husky does, but he has kind of the dramatic side eye. A lot of dogs do that. That's not just a husky thing, but he has a really good dramatic side eye and huffs. Like he will give the most exasperated, exaggerated sighs when he is sick of your BS. Guys, come on. Ugh. It's pretty funny. Big old teenager. Woe is me. That's fine. Alright, last boss.
Whirlwind. Watch your step.
I like feeling like I have quite a few things to do to keep my single target rolling. And it's kind of a nice feeling to be like, yep, I got all my dots up. They're working for me. Had Goldens for a while, and I always knew when they were even a little bit bored. The dramatic size. I love my dog so much. When you finally get up in the morning and you see him, he'll... Sometimes he's not even sleeping in the same room. He has a bed at the foot of our bed, but sometimes he'll sleep somewhere else. But then if he hears you get up, he'll come kind of like trotting, and then he gets so happy that he like puts his face down in a bed with his butt still in the air, and then he like falls over, or he'll like rub his face on his bed, and then he wants a hug. Generally, he's very cute. They're all cute, but that one's mine. This is my puppy. They let me have him. I don't know why. Ooh, that's a nice upgrade. I needed a belt. Pleased with that. And then we can turn it in. It would be efficient for me to hold on to these quests until 77 or so, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I think I'm just going to keep going. Bran will get experience from all delves. Although I don't think he's been getting any XP from these leveling delves, so I guess maybe not all delves. Yeah, maybe it is just bountifuls. I know he gets the most experience from bountifuls. Like, it's not really worth doing non-bountifuls to level him. That was a level 3 delve. Bran was level 69. This character is level 73. Realized you said diva, not delve. She's nearly 74.
What is your command?
Nice. Now she's 74, because that's a huge chunk. His wither reaches 8 stacks. Deals damage. Chance to gain Tormented Crescendo. I don't know what Tormented Crescendo is. Excited to find out one day. She's growing old. Let's see if we can get to 75 today. So I've done Earthcrawl. I did Fungal Folly. So we want to do Kriegwald's Rest. Also, we can turn in our Delves Weekly up here. 4+ for Bran to get XP. That might be the case. That would be one way for them to prevent him from leveling up while you're leveling. Do you undead age? I feel like they would age more of like in a decaying kind of fashion. Like they're not getting any more elderly, but they might get older, if that makes any sense. Getting so tired of not getting them out from the scrap drop. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's really frustrating. I got so lucky on that one. I got so lucky. Here's some shoulders. Ooh, nice. Huge upgrade in shoulders. Like 100 item levels. And I can... Oh, I got a helmet at some point, too. I can replace my 363. That's nice. That puts me up to 467. Make sure that I'm not carrying around anything else I need to be wearing. Those are BOE, so I could sell them, or I could equip them. I'm gonna wear them. I don't think I'm really getting 9k for them. And then we don't need those. Here, I'll sell those ones. See if someone will give me 500 gold for them. Lower their price to upgrade heirlooms. Yeah, that would be good. How you like an Aflock compared to Shadow Priest? It's good. It's a little bit more involved, but maybe it just feels that way because I'm used to Shadow Priest, so I don't have to think as much about the way the different pieces interlock, whereas here, every time they're like, oh man, this thing's gonna proc your this thing, and I'm like, my what thing? my whoozy what's it? Oh. Do you think they'll keep the hero trees? Yes. I do expect them to keep them. I wonder what they're going to do for leveling talents, though, if they do leveling talents. They're always trying to find ways to give us new things to play with as we level through new expansion levels without having us be totally overwhelmed, and I don't really know what their long game is there. Keep them, but add more trees to them? Yeah, maybe make them... I don't know about more options. I feel like that gets hard to balance. I feel like they could add on to, like, make them longer, add another row. Just give me a new room in my house per level. That would keep me happy. I would be pleased with that. This area looks like it's going to be super efficient to do, and it turns out to actually take kind of a while. Actually, never mind. That was 50%. I can probably do this whole objective. Let me check something. Okay, I do not have no server cast, so I should be totally fine. 8 seconds in there. Slowroll's not up for 44, though. smidge of XP. That's not how you get into this delve, though. You have to go underneath, don't you? There it is. Hi, Hazel. Hello, Actar. How are you doing today? I feel more confused about what is giving me soul shards versus I know exactly how to get insanity. Yeah, I don't know where soul shards come from, to be honest with you. Agony damage sometimes generates one. UA will generate one if the target dies while afflicted. I don't know. They just kind of happen. I don't know if you're meant to have a good read on when you're going to get more of them, if they can randomly proc from Agony. Oh, I forgot to check and see how long the last delve took me. Let me scroll up and see if I still have it. Yeah, 12 minutes and 48 seconds last time, so not... officially not slow, anyway. I'll take it. Let's see if I can do this one even faster. Make sure that we pick up the Delver's Call quest. Very, very important.
One of those enchanted candles to stay safe from these shadows.
Well, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of candles, and then I'm going to use exclusively one pack of them. And never leave any behind. Because that's how we roll. Stolen keepsakes recovered. Okay. So let's do Vile Taint, Seed of Corruption, Soul Rot, Rapture. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're probably gonna need this guy. Like saving the candles for the boss fight so I have a ton of room.
Frontal.
Oh, that's clever. I didn't think of that. I just use one at all times. No more than one at all times. I didn't even think of giving myself more room on the fight. I should do that. Oh, you know what I could have done is I could maybe switch. Actually, there's still time. Or I could do it at the midpoint, actually. Maybe at the midpoint. I'm going to switch my branded DPS. Because I think that that will work well. That's fine. Perfect. Do that too. More room in the boss is amazing. 2 candles creates enough room. Okay. I really hope that I manage to move this summer. I really want to. I hope it works out. I'm doing my best. I'm going out again tomorrow off stream. I'll be away from home for the day. I want to put an aquarium in my office. I want to plant plants. I want a garden. It's going to be late if I do end up moving in the summer. Summer's kind of not an ideal time to start a garden. It's kind of ideal if you can do it in the spring, but you know, we'll make it work. Nope, never mind. I have decided I am officially boycotting Easy Mine anything. It's not worth it. There's no amount of ore that is worth my life. It's just not very good work safe. This one. Actually, doing these leveling delves is making me feel a lot better about my kind of core opener, my AoE opener on packs. This brain will always get you the ore. At least a little bit of it anyway. I don't know if he gets you the whole shebang. He might. This one. See how many things we can get away with here.
Frontal.
The amount of time I lost the Darkmoon Firewater buff because of those types of ores. Hope they're only a ore with that thing. Dying to plant new stuff, but it's way too early in Ontario. Do you like to start seeds inside? I have this dream where I'm gonna somehow have a spot to put a hanging basket, and I want to figure out what I want to fill my hanging basket with ahead of time so I can like get seeds, start seeds indoors, harden them off, and then like design my own basket. I want to do that. And then someone will come over to visit and they'll be like, Hazel, where did you get this hanging basket? And if they don't say that, then I'll coach them. And then I'll say, why, thank you for asking. I planted it myself. It's going to be great. Got it all planned out. Except I don't know what I'm going to plant it with. But, you know, depending on the location and how much sun it gets, I'll look up some lists of plants and I'll think about some colors and some blooming times and it'll be good. Do you mean your mom? She would do that. She would definitely play along. She's nice like that. Like Affliction, every time I try in dungeons, failed like by the time I put all the dots on, packs are already dying. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier on stream. Dot classes struggle with that. If it's an easy dungeon and your group outgears it, and there's like, you know, geared melee in the group, they're going to obliterate things before you really have a chance to get cooking on them. Delves are decently good experience. The big experience comes from the Delver's Call quest. You'll get one for each delve.
Rental.
That's where the real juice is. Been cold here too. Haven't even thought about what I want to put on my simple balcony garden this year. Can you do basil? Do you like basil? I had pesto in a sandwich the other day and now I want to grow bushels of basil. If you get any sun at all, it's easy to grow tons of it. I used to run out of spots and pots, so I would take like milk jugs and yogurt containers and just like plant extra basil seedlings in them, and then I would just have like a whole balcony full of it.
Charging.
Plus it smells good. I would do basil, tomatoes, and marigolds. That was like my go-to trinity. The marigolds mainly because they were pretty and because they would get a few pollinators through and because supposedly they're a good co-planting with tomatoes in terms of like pest repelling. I don't know if it's true, but they look nice. And they're really easy too. And they look so sunny. I'm not going to do that rare. We don't need to. We don't have time for it. The aromatic civil herb garden is what I like most. Fresh rosemary smells so good. I love fresh rosemary. I killed my rosemary plant. I didn't water it enough. It got too big for the pot, so then it would drain it too fast. Look at me victim blaming my rosemary. It was too thirsty. It's not that I never watered it. It just got too big and then got too thirsty. Next time I'll do better, I swear. Mom puts rosemary in everything. It's so good on lots of stuff. My favorite is to put it into pizza crust. Like I'll make pizza dough and I'll put garlic and rosemary into the crust, and that's amazing. Or just bread, like a garlic herb bread with fresh rosemary. Or potatoes, roasted potatoes. Roasted potatoes with fresh rosemary, can't go wrong. That's just a good time. Ornamental versus edible. Want to go for pretty things this year? Pork and no los dos. Why not both? They complement each other. I feel like having pretty things and flowers is great because not only are they lovely for you, but they're also going to help bring pollinators and habitat for things that you want to have around anyway. You know, there's no better feeling than seeing like a bee or a hummingbird stop at your flowers. I wanna plant everything. My partner was like, "Are you gonna do a flower garden or a food garden?" And I'm like, "What do you mean or?" I'm gonna do everything. I'm full of dreams. If a hummingbird came by, I would die. I adore them. They used to, before I ruthlessly starved my rosemary plant of water, they used to really like stopping by the flowers on my rosemary bush. They would stop at each individual one. Whoa. Succulents are excellent at being neglected. Most of them survive 2 years of neglect after the kid was born. That's a good plant. I like my succulents for that too. Sometimes they'll even flower when you neglect them because they're like, ah, geez, I'm not gonna make it. I gotta propagate. I gotta keep my species going here. I had a snake plant flower. That's usually how I get my snake plants to flower. Not on purpose, but I will have forgotten that I owned a snake plant for like 6 months, and then I'll be like, oh wow, look, it's a flower stalk. And then you water it again, the plant survives, and the flowers are beautiful, although they're very sticky. Snake plants make very sticky flowers. It's fine, you just wipe it up. Love seeing what birds come by at my family's on Cape Cod. Miss that. I want to feed birds, but if I do set up a bird feeder in my next place, I want to be really careful to keep it really clean or set up like a tray that I can clean underneath it or something. Because if you have bird seeds scattered around, that's a great way to get rats and bigger things. Like attracting wildlife is apparently a real concern in a lot of these places. And I do not want to be the neighbor that made the bears come. Or the rats, really, but hummingbirds are nice and safe to feed because the worst you're really going to get on a hummingbird feeder is maybe ants if it's messy, but you can keep it clean pretty easy. Not a city girl anymore. I don't want to be here.
Watch your step.
Raccoons hanging off of a bird feeder quite often.
Knocking back.
Freehold is growing her own plants. Basil seeds just popped out sprouts. Had to ask my dad how to water non-succulents.
Watch your step.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so cute. I loved growing stuff when I was real small. I used to save the tomato seeds from my lunch, and then I read in a little science book that I could soak the slime off of them by soaking them in water and then drying them on paper towel and then plant them, and it works. And I would sprout them in a little egg carton on the deck. And I loved that. 11 minutes for that delve. I'm pretty pleased with that time. DBM is the name of the add-on that's giving me voice warnings to watch my step and stuff. Turned a new page in my flower endeavor, threw away the dead ones, and now I water the rest twice a week. Nice. Dad has 4 to 5 hummingbird feeders at his country house, and he was refilling them 2 to 3 times a day. That's a full-time job. Holy moly. That's impressive. Okay, so we've officially done all of the Dornegal delves. Or the Isle of Dorn, you know. Every shop has been closed. Need to find a new one close to my house. I got a bunch of the plants that I have just off the street here because people will set out things for free. And I've put things back into the ecosystem this way as well. But people will have like spider plant offshoots or cuttings of pothos or just like little house plants. I got like a peperomia that way once. Somebody had just set it out in the curb and I just picked it up, checked it for bugs, brought it home. New plant. Oh, I got my Christmas cactus that way too. I actually don't know if it's a Christmas cactus or a Thanksgiving cactus. It's some kind of zygo cactus, but like I have no idea what color flowers it's going to be because I adopted it. I picked it up as a baby. Little baby plant. Alrighty. We are going to turn this in. Delver's Call. Oh, we did turn it in. Didn't I? Yeah, I got 100 resonance crystals. That's the other nice thing about leveling with delves is you actually do quite well on resonance crystals. Any loot? Yeah, I got a ring that I can replace an heirloom ring with. Oh. It's it's theater time. I wonder if I should do this. I have a quest for it. The grand debut. I don't know if this is good leveling or not. It might be not bad.
Conversation initiated. Give your best performance.
Who's your favorite character in WoW? Oh man, I'm a horrible person. My initial thought was me! My character! Inksy.
I think.
Wow, talk about main character syndrome. Who do we like? We like Kelsey Steelspark. Yeah, excellent gnome. Library's having a plant exchange next week. Such a neat idea. Oh, nice. Could replace Bran with one of your alts. Yeah, I wonder who they're going to let us use instead of Bran in the future. I think it'd be neat to do follower dungeons with your alts. If you had an alt of the relevant role anyway.
Just this moment.
Touch a lucky plant. Thanksgiving cactus just bloomed again last week. Call it Easter. Doing double duty.
Come see the new items I have made.
Defeat Nerubian flyers. You betcha. I don't really know if this is worth doing while you're leveling, but I have a quest for it, so I feel like I may as well. I'm probably not getting to 80 today, given the fact that I'm 74 and I have less than an hour left. I think 75 is a great goal for today. Kind of want my elves to be on my house, in my house like a family. Gosh, I'm so excited for player housing. I know we're going to have to wait a while still.
We have a big show prepared. Let's get the venue ready, shall we?
It's going to be fun though. Player housing, can't wait. Thinking about getting back into WoW. Done all the main quest stuff. What all is good to do? Depends on what you want to do. I like delves. Delves are a great starting point. You can do them on your own or with other people. They're going to give you a lot of great relevant gear, which will set you up for either bigger delves or other things if you decide to get into raids or dungeons or whatnot. Good collectibles in there too. Player housing is not going to be in the War Within. That is a midnight feature. That is next expansion. Is it basically garrisons? Should be more than that. They've done a couple of previews. They've done a couple of good preview articles on player housing that I would recommend taking a look through if you're curious about more of the details. They've got some little video clips that show how it looks. It's a lot more customizable than garrisons. I liked garrisons. I liked having a place that was just mine that other players couldn't come in. Like a little quiet place. I know there's other, you can go into any instance and you can have alone time in the game, but it was nice to have an alone time that was kind of on my own little spot. It was relaxing to fish in. Do it a lot still. Pretty sure we'll get housing before the expansion. I mean, they could launch it with pre-patch, but I wouldn't expect it before then. I think it would still be in 12 point something. I don't think we're getting it in 11 point whatever patch.
Give them a graceful exit. Quickly.
Defeat Gorloks. Reminds me I need the Garrison Turtle Mount. Apparently there's going to be a time walking event on patch release date. That plus the leveling buff is going to be crazy. Yeah, I wonder what I'm going to be leveling by then. I'm hoping that I can kind of finish leveling this before then? I don't know why. It would be faster to level it with the event, but I want to get this one all sorted out. All ready to go. What pet am I going to use that upgrade stone on? Who is not rare? Lots of things.
As the ages unfold, so too do new experiences for the Earthen outside of their edict.
They don't de-level your pets anymore when you do that. That's nice. I was a bit worried about it.
Explore one of those.
My fused, all of Gundergauze showers us in your favorite flowers.
Pray for the servers to handle the amount of people trying housing on launch day. Yeah, I will not be surprised if it's a little dicey for a while. I would be kind of shocked if it wasn't. Sorry, the other day tried to say hi. I miss things like that. Even if you were on the same faction, I miss stuff like that all the time. I don't tend to look at my chat log.
Archive your memories.
No, my memories, Claudgren, my fused.
I don't think we're getting the actors' chests. Do you tend to replay the same expansions? Do you like to rotate? Honestly, this is the first time in a long time that I've leveled a character from level 1. So it's not often that I have actually been playing through the old expansions. When I do, I tend to always do the old world zones. So I pick Kata Time Walking and then I do the old leveling zones. The Kata versions of them. Sometimes I'll pick different zones to do, but I don't usually go to different expansions. Not beyond just like basic like unlocking Legion or building a garrison or whatnot. Why was WoD so hated? There's a few reasons. It did not have very much content going on. It was infamous for there not being a lot of endgame to play, because this was a world before Mythic Plus. This was a world before World Quest. So if you were at max level, you know, once you'd kind of done the raid, there wasn't a ton for you to do. And then they come out with a content patch that just had Twitter integration, rest in peace, and a selfie camera. And that was it. That was the whole patch. And that was not very popular. The endgame grinding they did have, like the Apexis crystal farming, was pretty boring and unrewarding. Garrisons kind of split everybody up a lot, so that you were almost... Your garrison kind of felt like a lobby where you wouldn't see any other players. You would log in, you would do garrison chores, you know, send your missions and pick your flowers. And then you would sit in your garrison and you would queue for like a dungeon or a raid or something like that. And you would never really get out into the world. There wasn't a lot of reason for endgame characters to get out into the zones, so you tended to not see people. And if you weren't interested in raiding, there was like not a lot for you to do. It was a little bit light on content. What are we doing? Concerned Dornegal citizens interviewed. Well, I suppose if I've interviewed two of the three of them already, may as well. Those were some of the complaints. Some people had story complaints in that the alternate universe time travel situation was kind of janky. Give them that. I liked it a lot. I had a great time. I PvP'd more in WoD than I ever did before because I had so much time to do it because I didn't have other things to distract me from it. So I made some lifelong friends and did more arena than I'd ever done before or since. Been doing the fishing shack recently in WoD, and I hate how Nat Tangle just stalks me everywhere. Would have enjoyed the PvP zone. Oh man. Ashran. People had feelings about Ashran. People were out for Holinka's head for that. He Brian Holinka, who's one of the WoW devs, and was the PvP guy for a long time, he'd kind of spearheaded this outdoor PvP zone that had a lot of interesting new things they were trying in terms of buffs and rares and like this mix of PvE and PvP. And the zone wasn't super well received because it basically turned into like a laggy AoE fest. There wasn't an awful lot of strategy going on in it, and it was sometimes frustrating to play. And because he had like so publicly staked his name on it, and he continued to stand by it even after people had already decided that it was awful, he got a lot of heat during WoD for that from the community. Underwater expansion. Give us Splashran. Splashran sounds like an amazing water theme park with an excellent slide. I would absolutely enjoy Splashran. Alrighty. There's that and there's that. Let's go do another delve. We'll go down to the Ringing Deeps and we'll pick another one to do. Are there Ringing Deeps delves that I need a story for? There is. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get the Waterworks story that we need. It's funny that the Waterworks is not a swimming delve. You'd think if any of them were gonna be. Didn't get to play one, so I enjoy it now. It also wasn't great for gatherers because they gave everybody freely accessible herbs and ore in their garrison, which kind of tanked the market for those things. So even if you wanted to go out into the world and like herb or mine, which is a common activity for a lot of people, you could do it, but there wasn't a whole lot of point to it because the values were through the floor because anybody with a garrison could go loot their entire herb garden and mine, and the quantities just didn't keep up with demand. You know, setting aside botting, which was a lot more rampant back then, or at least it felt that way. It was also like the daily grind, especially if you had a couple of characters, which was a really efficient way to get gold out of the game. You would spend hours a day, if you had the time for it and you had the characters for it, doing things that were really boring but really profitable so that you would keep doing them. So like your mission tables on a bunch of characters, or doing mine and herb gardens in a bunch of characters. doing your daily crafting cooldowns and a bunch of characters. Like, it was a lot of busy work that was too much gold to really walk away from, but it wasn't interesting to do, and it could take a long time to get through all of it. So for some people, their main experience with WoD was just kind of the in-garrison data entry thing. We did have add-ons for the mission table. There was Garrison Mission Manager. It was not as powerful as the add-ons we have now, like TLDR. It would help you put together teams, but it was not just like a click one button and it'll pick your missions for you kind of thing. Nair, thank you for the 39-month resub. Welcome back. Okay, make sure that I'm picking up this. Are the orchids real? The orchid is made of Lego. That way I can't kill it. Same thing with the bamboo. Although I do want a real lucky bamboo again for my desk one day. Maybe after I move I'll get myself one, but the orchid is 100p. Like, I'm so tickled pink that that it passes for real in the background. I think that's so cool. They're also a lot of fun to put together. I'm not sponsored, but I would be. They're really fun. I have a kit for the bonsai tree that I want to do and put on the shelf as well, but not yet. See you later, see me freeze. Very confusing. Follow old WoW head guides now when they're not updated numbers wise. Yeah. Okay.
Need something to do?
I forgot to check to see what the name of the story was. We're rescuing workers in here. Oh, I forgot to change my brand to, I mean, I guess I still could. Last time I was going to do it mid-delve. I was going to change my brand to DPS to see if I had a better time with that. And then I didn't do it. I'll get the pummeler too.
Run for. Watch your step. Run for. Watch your
Birthday
step.
gift? Yeah. And then the cherry blossom tree was for the bonsai tree that I have not yet assembled was for Valentine's Day. Thought I had to get WoD followers to 100, only 40 now due to level squish. Oh, that's weird. I never even thought of that. The level squish affects the followers? Wow, I didn't even think of that. That's complicated. Meow. What is it, kitty? I did your litter. I know you have water. I'll check your food after stream. Ooh.
Let's have a quick sit down to recover.
I don't think I'm doing a stellar job of this stuff. Yep, Kira has had dental cleanings and surgery. They actually ended up removing almost all of her teeth. She has maybe 3 to 5 teeth left. And we brush them every day now. She still insists on dry food. She will not mess with wet food. I do have Burning Rush on. That is true. Wonderful cat mom. We do our best. We're not going to be perfect, but we do our best. I love her very much. She's my baby girl. I'm hoping that if I do move, she forgives me. I think she will. Originally, I wasn't going to move with her because the vet made it sound like she didn't have very long left. And I figured I wouldn't put her through a move, but she's been like really stable. She seems exactly the same, so I think she can. I think she's got some life left in her. We'll see. A lot of people don't remember a lot of things from past expansions. Yeah. I don't remember things from like yesterday. People will sometimes like discuss past versions of different specs or past versions of like boss fights and old raids. And even though I was there and I played them, I don't keep a lot of memories of like former versions of WoW. There's just too many of them. I think at a certain point my brain decided that there was no room to hold on to that kind of information. Yeah, maybe she'll love the new place. Maybe she'll love it. I'm hoping that I find something that has a little bit more sun through the windows. This place gets a teeny tiny bit of it at the right time of year, at the right time of day. But like, you know, that's tough, you know. Kitty needs a sunspot. Now that I have a bit more gear from the campaign, delves feel much better. This is night and day from what it was when I was first starting to level this character. This is perfectly manageable. I think Moose, if we move, will love a change. I think he's gonna miss his friends, but I just have to have faith that he's gonna make new friends. He makes friends everywhere he goes. I'd love to move somewhere where we can get him to trails a little bit more often and do a little bit less city stuff and more country stuff. That would be nice. Parents moved. Their new place had floor vents for the AC, and one of the cats went inside the AC vent before it had a cover. Oh dear. Had to call an HVAC person, take apart the vents to get the cat out. Yeah. Oh, that's scary. New place that was perfect, except for a neighbor's indoor-outdoor cat came by every day and intimidated her through the window. I saw some videos on YouTube that were from like an old, what was it, like Animal Planet show called My Cat from Hell. And in one or two of them, that was actually a cat behavior problem. They had cats that were misbehaving because they were territorially threatened by other cats stopping by through the window. So they would do things like install like motion-activated like sprinklers or lights, or like blocking the view of the window or the place where the other cat would come by to prevent that, because it was stressing the cat out to the point that they were like behaving inappropriately. Like the sprinkler idea, yeah. Yeah, because it's not gonna hurt anybody. It's just gonna stop that cat from coming by and you know, mean mugging your kitty. Whoop-de-doo. I like that I get through the fire faster by putting on more fire. That's kind of entertaining. Is that all I needed? I think that's all I needed. I kind of like having Burning Rush, actually. I thought I would hate it because it hurts me, but it doesn't hurt me that bad. You know, it's nothing we can't handle.
Grandpa.
Cat had to get 2 teeth out. Brushing her teeth isn't really an option. Trying to give her greenies. She seems disinterested in them or struggling to eat them. Kira loves greenies, but she doesn't chew them, which I'm entirely certain defeats the point of the greenies, so I just give them to her anyway because she likes them.
Grandpa.
I'm really glad that I started brushing Moosey's teeth from day one, because he loves it now. It's so cute. He's so cute when you're brushing his teeth. Baby. Plus, he really lets me like move around his lips and really get in there, which you kind of have to because he's got a lot of teeth and they need a good scrubbing. Even with brushing them every day, they still get kind of you can see build up on them. I'm gonna need to get him a dental eventually. But gotta be better than nothing. Let's do 2 packs of these. Why not? Easier starting day one. I was so impressed with Kira for sticking with me and being patient. Every cat is different for sure. But I started her on like year, 7? And she was not pleased with me for a while. She was not having it. We did the babiest of baby steps over time. I think it was probably like a month or 2 of like every day just doing like itty bitty baby steps before I ever got the toothbrush in her mouth. It helps when they like the toothpaste too. We had a good phase where she was just licking a little bit of it off my finger. And it was chicken flavored, and she was a big fan of that. But I don't think that would have worked if I tried the toothpaste I have now, because she does not like the toothpaste that we have now.
That device keeps us safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
We have Dreamies. What are Greenies? They're just a brand of dental treat for pets. We make them for dogs and cats. Enzyme they add to the CET ones. They work. They're not the only brand that does enzymatic toothpastes. I use the CET Verbac one for a while. It's just so expensive. It's almost $30 a tube, and with a big dog, we go through it really fast. I just can't afford to buy that stuff all the time. I needed to find something a little bit cheaper. There were cats where you would not have a hand if you tried to brush their teeth. Yeah. Tried to have my cat get used to the smell of toothpaste, ran away from me. Kitty. What am I doing? I'm going... Yeah, every cat is for sure different.
Watch your step.
Dogs too. When I was when Moose had his playdate this morning, we were talking with his friend's owner, who was saying that their last dog, they took him to like one training class, and then the dog picked it up and never needed to be on leash ever again, and was just by their side, perfectly behaved for their entire life with like no problem. And how this new dog, Mrs. Friend, is like a completely different can of worms, because they're so individual and so different. It doesn't mean it's a bad dog, but it means that some things are going to take a lot more practice, and then other things will come more easily. Mom's cat had to have a lot of teeth pulled. It's pretty common for pets to end up with pretty serious dental disease because of their diets and because of how long they live when we keep them. It's mitigated if you brush their teeth regularly and if you get them regular dental cleanings, but it's very, very normal. Ask your vet next time you're there. It's extremely common. It's expensive, and it sucks for them. But yeah, it's tough. Yeah, dental cleanings are expensive, but they're expensive for people too. You want to keep your teethies if you can. That's one of the reasons why I'm so hesitant to get any more pets, is because, you know, it's more than just saving like a couple $100 a year for vet visits. You know, it can be thousands. It can be many thousands in one go, and insurance won't usually cover things like dental cleanings because they're expecting that you're going to need those. I love my animals, but they're so expensive. That's why I don't just hoard them. I feel like if they were free, I would just have 12. I would just be like, this cat is mine, and this cat is mine, and this one's coming home with me, and this one's name shall be Bubbles. Two dogs, one at 3 years old, had like a $5,000 surgery. Who knew? Yeah. It can get really crazy. I met somebody at a dog park that said that their puppy broke an arm completely by accident. Something like fell off of like a couch or something. Broke an arm at like 6 months old and needed about 12 grand worth of surgery that the insurance wouldn't cover. It can happen. It's terrifying. Especially right now. You can't always account for everything, but I've been telling Moose, I love you very much. Keep it together. No problems, especially not now. Not ever, but also not now. Just be healthy. You know, if he needs something, we'll obviously get it for him, but special and opposing dies? Didn't think about that money too much. Yeah, it's mainly something to consider before you get them. Whether or not you can keep up with it, if it happens. I can't imagine living without Kira and Moose, though. Like, I know one day that'll happen, but I don't even remember. I've had Moose for about a year and a half, a little bit over, because he's going to turn 2, but I got him 3 months in. And every now and then I'll be talking to my partner and I'll be like, what did we do before Moose? What did we used to talk about? What did we used to do all day? I don't remember. Dog's been at the vet all weekend being sick. Hope you can come home today. I hope your puppy's doing better today. Oh. Give pets for me when you see them. Poor baby. What are we doing? What is your dog? Oh, maybe not for me. My dog has a lot of energy. My dog has a lot of love to give. My dog has wiggles. Why am I doing this? This is a terrible bonus objective. It takes forever. Well, I guess I'm almost all the way done it by now anyway. Maybe I'll finish it. Okay. Talking about Moose made me miss Moose. I want to go see him. Another half hour. I bet you he's asleep. I bet you he is passed out on the living room floor. He played so hard today. He ran so fast. That dog is all gas and needs to work on brakes. He thinks he can stop and turn on a dime, and he cannot do that. YouTube video I watched yesterday had a German Shepherd named Moose in it also. Aww. Nice dog. Grinded for 5 hours for Netherwing eggs. Got revered to exalted. Congratulations. Did you have competition for them? Like, were there other people also doing it? Sometimes I wonder if those zones are still populated with people with the same idea. Man, I am nearly level 75. Oh, I suppose I also have the Delver's Call quest to do too. Maybe I will do my Undermine World quest after this on a different character. Get her to 75 and then call her good for the moment. Try not to burn out on it. It's not like I'm gonna get super crazy farther anyway. For a bit, yeah, but you play in EU and you live in NA? Nice. That would be a great idea. This add-on is Plater for nameplates. I'm a big fan. I like Plater very much. Nameplates are the one part of the default Blizzard UI that I feel has fallen very far behind the rest of it. And I used to kind of wait anxiously for them to update it so that I could abandon my nameplate add-on too. Because, you know, with other things, like I used to use Bartender, but then when they added the edit mode, I got rid of that and I just used the default. But I think I'm sticking with Plater. I don't think I hope they get around to nameplates, but I don't think I'm going to get rid of Plater. I like it too much.
We all have our tasks.
Here we go. So there's 75. We get Malevolence. There's a 1 minute cooldown. Gives you haste. And stacks of Wither. Where should I put that? Maybe on that one. Yeah, or maybe up here. Maybe there. That'll be good. Brain, what do you want? You want me to do the waterworks? No, I just did the waterworks! Well, I suppose I'll do it again eventually. Should we put her down? Put her to bed? There should be an inn over this way, I think. Did I get anything worth putting on? Oh yeah, we got a neck upgrade. Very good. Disappointed when they added cooldown UI. There must be some major obstacle for them involved with updating nameplates, because I can't think of any other reason why they haven't done it yet. It is such an egregiously core part of the UI that is so dated. There must be a good reason they haven't done it yet. I have to believe that. Yeah. The thing that Plater does for me that I don't think that even an updated Blizzard UI would do is Plater will change. It can change the color of your nameplates to colors of your choosing, depending on things like, is this a quest mob? Do I have aggro on this? The quest mob thing in particular, it can make something larger if it's casting like an important spell to kick. Those are things that I don't think that even an updated one would handle, and you get really used to them. Especially the quest mob highlighting, I feel like. I have a really hard time running around, because otherwise you're just checking each mob individually for a tooltip. Whereas with the Plater colors, you can just kind of fly over and be like, oh hey, it's these ones. They're right here. No problem. Post some of these things. So I have them similar colors, but you'll see if if I'm on a quest. My quest mobs are like a bit orange, whereas a regular hostile mob is red. So that's why I couldn't deal with that Plater the other day. Alright, I'm gonna put her to bed, and I'm gonna do some Undermine World Quest for some more Steam Weedle rep. If it did have dangerous spell highlighting built in, that would go such a long way. Yeah. I wonder whether or not they would do that, or if they consider identifying the dangerous spell to be something that should be more up to the player, unless they do add-ons. I don't know. I don't like the visibility of the standard default frames. I think that they look really bad. I should do this on a different character. Let's do our world quest on somebody who actually needs the Valor Stones. Maybe Anthus? He's already out there. You can fix his helmet up a little bit. Don't the default name frames match the text color to the frame color? So like on a hostile mob, it'll be red text. I think they do that, and I think it's horrible. Okay. So he's done his chat list and everything. Doesn't need to do it for that. But he does need to do some world quests for some reputations. So let's just do the batch. Besides, he's gonna get some Valor Stones that he can probably spend. It's red text and it is icky. If you don't use Bartender, like me, you can move your bars with edit mode. So if you press escape to get your menu up, there should be an edit mode button there that you can use to move your bars around, reconfigure them. You can even set up different profiles. So if you want your bars one way for when you're on a tanking character and another way for on a DPS character, you can do that. Make as many make a few profiles anyway. I don't know how many they'll let you do. Don't mind default, but I do use the larger version. Oh, that is a fast thing. Let's see if we can get to Slugger here. Oh no. Oh no, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Has anybody even pulled him? No, no one's even pulled him yet. I kill these on my alts in the dream that they will one day proffer me miscellaneous mechanica. They don't seem to do it. Has not been happening for me yet. Do you think they'll buff that too? Cannot solo that. Oopsies. Open trash cans and dumpsters for the same reason. It says you can get them from there. Yeah. Says it. I believe it. I just don't think it's very likely. I think the drop rate is stinky. As they say, it sucks. I had one, but I deleted it from my bag. Oh. They are for cosmetics, so if you don't care about mounts or pets, then that's fine. It's not going to give you any player power. They are an extremely low drop rate item that you can use to purchase things like mounts and pets. There are a variety of mounts that are... Well, How would I do that actually? Where are the miscellaneous mechanic amounts? That's not it. Forget the name of them. There's a bunch of stuff. You need a lot of them to get all of it. Is it Skidget? No. Yes, it is actually. Yes. So there's 3 mounts here. This guy, this guy, this guy, and they're 25 miscellaneous mechanica each. And the drop rate is just so awful. Oh, people are fighting the guy. They're fighting the dude. I'm here. I'm here to help. Can I get it back? You might be out of luck. Sometimes you can item restore things, but I think that's for gear. I don't know if you can item restore or something like that. 25 each. Yeah, it's there. You need a lot of them. And their drop rate is awful. I've been playing this patch quite a bit. And I have 3, I think. I have 3. I might have 2, actually. It might not even be 3. Tried doing a tier 11 on a 575 pally. And what happened? As the kids say, got clapped. Yep. That's ambitious. That is for sure brave. Okay. Nothing from him. Not very generous with the undermine progression. The goblin cartels, the 4, I guess 5, goblin reps are about to be better. Maybe just the 4 core ones. I don't know about the, I don't know if they're buffing Dark Fuse, but the other ones, Bilgewater and Venture Co and whatnot, they're going to be more rep gain from all the different things that give them to you. 100% extra from like world quests and weeklies and whatnot. So those will start going a little bit faster in 11.15, which comes out April 22nd.
Interesting.
Patiently waiting to find out if we can get most... Yeah. I opened one Paragon cache because they do give you a little gimme. They give you a little freebie when you get your rep to Exalted the first time, and I didn't get anything from that, so it ain't guaranteed. Maybe it's high, but it's not not for sure. Oh no. Doing chat list, scraps, errands, and 10 characters, and I have 3. Oh man, 10 characters. Where's more scalpers? Corruption's coming back. Yeah, they're doing horrific visions again, and I think they're doing corruptions as some kind of power involved. The visions I don't think are going to be here till May. The patch comes out April 22nd, but the visions aren't going to be until a bit deeper in. The real miscellaneous mechanica was the goblins we extorted along the way. Ay. It's not even just the mounts either, there's pets as well. I think the pets are cageable. I think you might be able to buy them for gold, and I think if you can, they're either not even available or they would be millions because of how rare that currency is. Got the Goblin Shredder from Scrap? Congratulations. Nice. Yeah, that's a good one to get done. There's a lot of trash around here. That gave me some Steam Wheedle rep. I am Exalted, and you need 10,000 rep past Exalted for each Paragon cache, so that's the main reason I'm trying to get around to doing my weeklies here. Plus, you know, any extra market research doesn't hurt. I don't know if that's going to give me rep. It'll give me some gold.
Hey, you! We got a mech that's out of control here. Could use a few hands to shut it down.
Welcome to Lag City. Population, me. love getting mounts, but I feel more happy getting a new pet lately. Don't know if it's because there's actually a newish pet meta or not. I feel like I have more chances to enjoy the pets because you can pull them out in a lot of places, you know? You can use them... Pardon me. I like to have pets out in dungeons. And you can mount in dungeons, but not in all of them. Okay, I get anything? I don't think so. I don't think I got any big loot. Market research. This is gonna be... yeah, maybe a little bit. Well, I don't think we're gonna worry about that one. I don't think it's gonna give a meaningful amount of rep. We'll do this.
Try before you buy, am I right? Let's show them some quality samples. Then they'll come running for more.
I wonder what these potions do that I'm trying to get people hooked on so that they come back for more. If you don't use a delve map, can you get 2 the next week? I don't know. I've never been brave enough to try that. I don't know why you wouldn't... why you would try to save it. Oh, I guess, yeah, if you forgot. You can fight Underpin all you want. Oh, man. The thing I want most from Devil Question Mark Underpin is the title. You get the your name, comma, the real deal. That's good stuff. That's where it's at. I am, if I get that, for sure putting it on.
Sit back and wait for the orders to roll in.
That gave 150 Steam Wheedle rep. Oh, don't mind my driving. Good grief. Yeah, that's bad. I don't know if I'm gonna walk away from this one. There we go. Never done that before.
Alchemy experiments are
I think there's a
wonderful
car in the
on
middle of your
pipe
crashed
above us.
lamppost.
Get some quick pictures of them for research.
What are we doing? Research.
Those underriders are a nuisance. And
Solos
they're
for the mountain
sitting on
skin.
good stuff.
Yeah, but I want
Whoever
that
wants
too.
favor, take it.
Plus, am I really the real deal? If I had Flabby do it for me. Don't answer that. It's a lifelong question. You're probably wondering how I got here. This is good rep, right? Yeah. It's gonna be a couple hundred. I know it's gonna mean more in after the buff, but I figure I'll get all I can. Solo for the mountain title anyway, so no Flabby. The all gold mount is pretty silly looking. It's pretty crazy. I'm gonna have a whole new batch of World Quest to do next week because I'm gonna switch to a different faction. I don't know who I'm taking second. Maybe Bilgewater. But I've only done the Steam Wheedle World Quest so far. I also never did get around to Zekfir. Maybe I can do that too.
Really?
Yeah, useful trash.
You would not believe what valuables
I'm
people
kind of
pick
looking
up in
forward
the
to
trash. I bet there's
next
some
week
good
because then
stuff
I
in
get to do
here.
another batch of chat lists actually. It's just kind of fun. Also, he has a completed one already, I think, that he just didn't turn in. Yeah, he's got a completed chat list that's ready to turn in, but I'm just going to save it so I can turn it in next week. I think they'll still let me have another one. We'll find out anyway. What is this? Oh, it's for Liberation of Undermine. I don't want to do that right now. You can get quite good crafted gear with your early sparks and your enchanted runes from the campaign. But the problem is that then you have to actually craft it, which, you know, rough. Might cost me more than 2 gold. Might have to talk to somebody, the horror. Yeah. I think I'm probably... Well, I guess it depends on if the experience slows down. I'm 1 or 2 weeks away from getting my brand to level cap. Because I've been doing bountiful delves on 3 characters. About to be 4 characters as soon as I get my warlock leveled up. Decent amount of experience for brand. Even if you're only doing 8s, you're going to get much better experience if you can do 10s. But I can't be bothered to do that on my ults, so 8s it is. It's good enough. Still a decent chunk. Crap, Paladin's so fun. It's just everything's exploding all the time. Gilded crest for 11s. My alts are never getting gilded crests. I just don't care to play them to that level. I don't have it in me. And my main doesn't need it because she's getting them from... I mean, I did do it from delves this week, but she gets her gilded crest from keys, and I get capped pretty easily every week anyways. So there's no sense in me grinding out really slow delves if I don't feel like it. Maybe if I get an alt that I choose to be like the queen alt, you know, like the one that I'm actually gonna get past 640 and see if I can aim for 660 on, maybe then I'll start doing 11s and keys. Gotta go do mythic now. Can I go to junkyard this season? Not as a current key. It is workshop only for current season keys. You might be able to go into non-mythic plus Mechagon to just farm it if you're looking to just run the old instance to farm them out. Yeah, I don't know actually. I think you could just walk in. I don't know for sure though. Tried? Oh. Well, if it don't work, then it don't work. Might need to wait a season. I know sometimes that happens. If they can be priests, they can be ballies. Wasn't able to go in and below current heroic. That's annoying. Yeah, I kind of figured they would let you go back, but I guess not. It'll only be for 1 season, though. It'll be back before you know it. This is one of the slowest world quests I find. You're looting 20 things one at a time, more or less. I wonder when it's going to be comfy to farm Tazavesh. Am I thinking of Tazavesh? No. I'm thinking of the dungeon with the quantum stuff from last expansion. It's going to be another expansion probably before it's like comfy to run in alts, right? I'm sure some people are doing it, but... Dawn of the Infinites. That's what I was thinking of. You can probably already farm Tazavesh. Peppy RUS with a 7-month resub. Kind of wild I can only resub with Prime on computer. Cannot do it on my iPad. It is kind of annoying. thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you going to the extra trouble. Last boss still sucks a bit without some sort of a gimmick. I need another piece of trash. Hello? Here we go. I don't think I saw these cakes in here.
Jackpot! I can make the coolest thing out of this. What? It's recycling, technically.
Perfect. Okay. So we did all of that for 150. We're up with Steam Weedle. It'll be worth it, I swear. Grease residue. That's going to be a lot easier. Been in Tazvesh recently, and I can solo it on my 649 Arcane Mage. Takes about a minute. Used to take like 20 minutes. That was a fun instance. Running 3 tunes through Galley a week, clearing 10s and delves consistently, feeling good. Nice! You know what I should do? I should figure out whatever LFR wing has, Styx Bunk Junker. I think that's who it is. I want the explosive Hearthstone. I never win it in raid. If we keep raiding long enough, maybe eventually, but I'm a little afraid we're gonna stop doing it, stop raiding before it comes to that point. Flabby won it, and I saw him use it, and it's really funny. Your character like sets up a bomb, and then they're kind of like looking at it, and then they're like trying to do something about it, and then they're like crying, and then they kind of like give themselves up to it before it goes off for the hearth. That's so funny. I want one. It would be perfect for bopping. It would be pretty good for Inksy too. Are you ready for Tazavesh's return in Season 3? Since we last saw Gallywix there prior to Undermine. Oh. I would be down if they brought it back. It was a fun dungeon. Plus, we'd only see half of it, right? They wouldn't do the whole thing. I can't win it either. I keep rolling like ones. 5s, 19s. I do not have the rolls when it comes to that. We'll get it one day. I could be using my ults to do it on LFR. And even normal. The problem with doing it on LFR and in Pugs is that you are always going to have the same odds. Whereas if you can do it with the same group of people, eventually you'll get it because everybody else will have had it already. But that predicates on that same group of people running it for long enough for that to happen. You need your group to not quit. And sometimes we don't farm very long once we've cleared a raid, so there is danger there. Yeah, for LFR you'd have to win against 25 people. Exactly. You just gotta get lucky once, though. Might be kind of fun to make a project out of it one day.
How about that?
Okay, that one's all sorted.
A little more ingredients.
Two more. Newspapers,
Nice job.
and then a race, and then we'd call it good, probably. I don't think I'm gonna worry about the pet battle.
We're gonna need cash if we want to keep this operation running. Go get a paper route or something.
Get a paper route or something.
What's shaking, pal?
Yeah. I agree, Saberclaw. TT is meant to be an emote of a crying face.
What's the damage?
It's a crying emoji. What? There you go.
Yeah? What's the news?
There's a one of the early Twice songs was called TT, and because they were sad. I don't know why they were sad. Maybe because you'll never love them or something, but that was the whole thing. It was very catchy. Hard to get out of your head. Used to know the dance. That feels like yesterday, and it was not yesterday. How are we doing on newspapers? Couple more. What's that? Dumpster, maybe? Had no clue. Maybe people were signing off with their initials. Listen, it's just Tim Tebow everywhere. Taylor Twift.
Welcome to the
You know.
best place ever. It's all coming together.
Didn't know you had a pally. Yeah! Pretty recent project for me. It's been very fun. I thought I was gonna tank, but I've been playing Rhett, and I've been enjoying that. I just gave him a big ore, and he's been a ton of fun. What mildly bugs me is I have downtime now for leveling alts, but we're getting the wins XP when 11.15 drops with new content. I mean, it seems like some of the new content's gonna be kind of time-gated. The visions won't be out right away. The dastardly duos, or whatever they're calling it, won't be out right away. So there will maybe be some time for leveling. I guess I forget what else is in the new patch. There'll be a little bit of a gap at the beginning, but yeah, I know what you mean. Now is kind of like a great time for leveling alts, except that it's not, because it's going to get better in a second. Let's do this one. This is a sky race, isn't it?
What it takes to race in the big leagues?
It is. Shall we do the reverse?
Well.
Twice recently. Did a song with Megan Thee Stallion, also a banger. I've gotten so behind on pop music. I've been trying to download songs. I actually need to take some time today and put together a couple of playlists. I have a lot of driving to do while house hunting, and I find it's a lot more tolerable if I have good driving playlists. But I don't like the ones that the algorithm keeps making for me, so I need to put something together myself. Whoa! I wasn't supposed to fall. There we go. Pop music entails T-Swift, that's kind of it. I mean, you could stay in the T-Swift catalog and listen to new stuff, like, for a long time. I wonder what the total runtime of her published discography is. It would be long, right? Like, there's a lot of it. Caramel by Sleep Token, Gaga's new album. Gotta get the Gaga album. I didn't realize that Lil Nas X had dropped a new album somewhat recently. Like, I completely missed it somehow. But then I added it to bump that. It's not too long, but I like those. Am I done? Am I good? I think I did it. Yeah, I did. How much rep did we get out of that? We are at 1450 into that 10,000. That'll help. That'll be something. Lil Nas X is the album that dropped. He does pop music. Google says a 21-hour runtime for T-Swift. Holy moly. That might be the strangest thing I've ever had to permit Streamlabs to just to let through. Alright. I can't believe it. I'm done for the week again. I'll be back on Wednesday. Wish me luck. Cross your fingers and toes. Think of me. think good house thoughts. Appreciate very much the company. Thank you for being here. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend and a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.